2, 1. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, the Life After High School podcast number 38. I've been gone for a month. Where have I gone? What have I done? What has happened? So much, because the world doesn't fucking stop. Oh well. Thumbnail. You already know. It's a new face for me and for you. Or a new face for you and me. Whatever you want. This picture was actually taken a couple days ago. I went fishing with my brother. And right here at this beautiful spot, I got a hook caught in my thumb. And it cut me, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was like bleeding, and I still wanted to fish. And I wrapped a little wipe around it, and I was like, ow, hurts, bruh. Anyway, guys, as you already know, this podcast could be rated restricted. Foul language, horrible jokes, offensive jokes, copyright music, uncensored stories. Things may not be said or will be said. We try not to say names, too. Follow us on Instagram at Life After HS Podcast, all lowercase. I'm not going to spell that all out. The Life After HS Podcast, all lowercase. Find me there. Our guest today is, I don't know my user, 002. His name is Leroy, class of 2020 from our former school. The one school upon the hill, Northside High School. Brought to you by 3Ds. Hit them up. Location, hours, and numbers are right there. If you're like me, you need a fade. You can't be going out here looking rough. I got a hat on. I got a Baby Yoda hat on right now. I got the child on my head because I don't need you to see things that need to be cut and things that need to be styled. If you need to be styled and profiled, go to 3Ds. Are we back? 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 AC/DC, Back in Black. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Leroy? We are live. Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
This is the first time we're meeting.
Yeah, technically the first time we are meeting. I don't know how we got to the point of following. We were just saying that it's like, oh, you're in high school, you follow whoever you see in the hallway, type shit, right? But like, I knew a lot of people who were part of 2020. Like, shout out our good friend and former drum major of the Northside Band, Azul Gonzalez. Like, you probably knew her too. And yeah. So like, I knew a lot of people. Like, I don't remember who was in your class, like, per se, because, you know, memories and things tend to get forgotten. But she was someone I knew graduated in 2020.
She was very nice.
Yeah. And y'all went through the hardest, possibly one of the most difficult times any person in school could go to.
The most unpredictable.
The most unpredictable. Yes. And that's where we're getting into it. So COVID happens. Spring break 2020, you're thinking, oh, fuck yeah, spring break. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm in the home stretch of senior year. Then out of nowhere, hey, y'all can't come back to school. Oh, hey, you have to stay home for a reason.
Here's the interesting story about this. So I didn't even attend the final 2 days of high school. I didn't even attend fully. I left early.
You left early?
Because I was heading to Mexico that same day.
Oh.
I was heading, and I had to prepare for it. And I didn't think of it much, the COVID situation. I thought it was only going to last a week extra. Maybe we were going to get an extra week break. And I was in Mexico. And then random Thursday in the morning, my brother comes up running to me, and he was like, hey, we're going to have an extra week of spring break. And I was happy about it at first because I was like, oh, okay.
Like, fuck yeah.
I get to chill another week here.
Yeah.
And I was going to stay in Mexico for only 1 week and a few days. And then that exact moment, I just told my mom, hey, can we just stay in Mexico for another week? And we did.
She was like, yeah, why not? You're not missing school.
And it was my first time going to Mexico. So I was like, and I loved it. I loved the culture over there.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's just stay another week here in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then we came back home like a week later. And it was like, and then I was heading back home, and then the FWAZ said, oh, we're extending the break for another 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, it's more serious than I thought.
It's serious.
So my quarantine didn't really happen until like a week after.
Oh my God. Dang.
So it was interesting to say the least.
It was interesting when it hit because spring break for me, or I knew because I had friends in school, obviously, so I kept up, oh, this is when spring break is happening. This is when I could hang out with whoever and such ever. It was actually the week I started working at Amazon, and like you said, like you hear it in the news, and you're like, oh, it's not that serious, all this and this and this, but when it hit my workplace, mask, mask. You saw everybody thought it was badass when like they made their own custom mask out of bandanas and shit.
That's what I thought because the first time I wore a mask, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I hope it's not like I didn't think it was gonna last long. I thought it was gonna be like a few weeks.
Yeah, and I had the blessing that my grandma actually was making those, so I went fully prepared when I went to Amazon. I had the red one, I had a blue one. Like I would get comments like, "Oh, you should sport red, blood. You should." Literally, that's what they told me. That's what my coworker had told me. And then when I showed up with the blue one, he's like, "Ah, I don't like the blue one. I don't like the blue one."
Did she just like make them for y'all, or did she sell them?
I think she maybe sold a couple, but like to just family friends who needed them. Mm-hmm. But other than that, all of them were all made for us.
Did they ever close off work?
Did they? No. Their whole stick was whenever this was pre-COVID when I first went there. Their whole stick was, hey, we don't stop for nobody. Weather conditions, whatever. The roof, like my former manager had to say, the roof would have to come off in order for us to stop. So meaning no stoppage. And I'm guessing they just did the whole protocol in order to keep the factory going, because they made changes, whether if it was social distancing, and then they took it to the max where they had assigned people to get people to social distance. I felt bad because there were people who had to spend their entire 10-hour shift sitting in a break room, spraying each and every table people get up from, or telling people, get away from each other. You know, that's crazy.
Did they cut hours, or because I know a lot of people that got cut hours, or
we got
laid off.
We got extra hours. Like
because everyone was ordering online.
Yeah, and that kind of happened. But the thing was, a lot of people had this was said by an actual person who was higher up, that he called it shit work, because what had happened was half of our stations had to get cut because we were like this close from each other.
Okay.
So social distancing, you had to cut half your stations. So once you cut half your stations, you cut half your staff, and then you got to figure out, well, what can the staff do to help when work is already being done? You know.
Yeah. It's like what teachers do to pass the time. They just give you
work. They give you busy work. Yeah. Whether if it was cleaning or whatever, or since there was such a backload, there would be like leaning towers of boxes everywhere. So they would send, like I had the privilege of being sent up and down the rows to find every other box and put them in a little tote and bye.
That sounds like hell.
It was a little bit, but I liked it. They Amazon offers a lot of good things. Like me, I tell like crazy fucked up stories about them a little bit. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I feel it's a good place to work. It's hard.
Was it a warehouse?
Yeah, it was a fulfillment center. Okay. That they pride themselves on being the fulfillment center, the air hub. They pride themselves on that. But yeah, that's what it was, and it's pretty much factory. It felt like walking in Willy Wonka's factory, to be honest. Like. But yeah, so how did you feel whenever you first started going back to school, going back to the whole COVID thing? Because work went for me as usual, work as usual. But then when you had to go back to school, what was it like?
Well, I never really got back in person. I'm currently not studying.
Oh, I see.
But the online things, I know it hurt a lot of people because they're not used to it. It's something new to them. But fortunately. Well, I procrastinated throughout my work, so it was weird. And then I remember the last 2 weeks, I was like, oh, shit, I'm way behind. I have like 2 months worth of work in these 2 weeks. How am I going to graduate? And I swear to God, I worked 12 hours a day.
12 hours a day?
2 weeks.
Damn.
And I remember the last day of high school when the grades were due for the seniors. Everyone on Snapchat was on at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, turning in work to teachers.
Oh, my God.
Everyone emailing work.
Yeah.
And then I emailed my teacher like at 4 in the morning, and he got back to me at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, oh, so even the teachers are awake during the day.
Well, that's the time they usually get up. Some of them get up at 4 just to do stuff at 5 or 6, and then to get there at 7 or 8, get to school at 7 or 8. But now since they're at home, you know, they had time to stretch on that. So 4:30, 5 o'clock, why not?
It's normal for them.
Yeah, it's normal.
And the teacher just emailed me back. Just don't worry about the work. I'll just pass you for the semester, for the year.
Damn.
And I did not deserve the pass. I did for some classes. I didn't do any of the work, but they just passed me. So I think they mostly passed everyone because it was different. We didn't know everyone's situation, their
Yeah.
home life. It was a disaster for everyone.
It was a big disaster. And then one problem I remember that I had to keep up with, even though I was working, I had my separate life going on, is one thing is, where were y'all going to graduate? Remember how there was so much speculation on
And
how
they
they're
even
going to do
canceled it for a bit. They
They
canceled it for a few
canceled it,
days. And there was protests in front of the school district.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw it in the news. I was like, oh.
Yeah, like, first it was like, okay, what do we do? Are we going to do it virtually?
And
people
no one
are like,
liked that. No one
no,
liked that.
no one's like, no one wants to sit in front of their computer on a Zoom with like 100 plus people. How are you going to?
Because like everyone worked for like 13
Yeah,
years.
12,
to
13
graduate,
years.
And it would suck just to like
Yeah, they
have it
don't
all online.
walk a stage.
And
yeah.
not even see your friends like for a final time.
Yeah.
It's like, and it was so unexpected. So it was like,
It's like, what do we do? And then they like you said, they canceled it. So like, they're like, what is happening here? What is happening? But then they came in clutch and they did something that was very logical that I liked, which was
we
Rankin
did it
Field.
outside.
Why not?
And we were separated. But the bad thing is, it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
outside. Were you there or?
I was not there, but the reason why I say yeah like that is because I was technically the last graduation that went fully planned, even though
Didn't y'all have it in TCU?
we had it at TCU. But here's the thing about that one. A lot of people did not like it. Like, I had my buddy on, Chonchito, shout out Chonchito right here. He came out and he said about how he recollected how it was hot. And, like, apparently a lot of people's day weren't going to plan. But the thing that fucked up everybody was the amount of sweat because we were all unsocial distance. Like, we were this close to each other in our gowns, body heat, with nice clothes on. Girls are sweating their makeup away. They're getting raccoon eyes over here. It's starting to smell like the locker room now, like at school. Like, what the fuck? The Texas heat is kicking our ass. And then we go, and then things were, you walk stage, So I don't know.
I think it was like 98-degree heat for us.
98 degrees.
And then it was like windy as hell outside.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing everyone cap and gowns falling off their heads.
Everybody holding it.
Everyone holding on to them.
But then they got the mask on too, so they're looking like.
So I had clothes on, pants, everything. I had my cap and gown, and it was 98 degrees outside. And I had my mask on. But I was all covered. But the bad thing is, when you come back home, you were just sunburned in this area.
Yeah, and then everything else was all covered.
Yeah.
But then y'all finally got to, like, walk a stage, pretty much. That was cool.
Which was nice, but I don't know. We got told to leave immediately.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have the opportunity personally to say goodbye to a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing. Like, you remember, like, that is the final time y'all are all in the same location at the same time in this point in your life. Yeah. That's something that doesn't get said, but it gets remembered. Like, nobody.
Like, at the moment, no one, like.
Nobody's thinking it because they're thinking, am I going to have a nice day? Am I enjoying this? Am I trying to soak this in? Yeah. Like you don't know everybody's situation. Like, I remember there was a dude in my class who had a broken leg and he had to go across the stage and broken leg. Like, why not, man? Fuck yeah. So, fuck, I don't know. Like, it's something it's something to grasp a hold of, but you don't know. You know what I mean?
And that day was 3.5 hours long.
3.5 hours long.
So it was like, I was just counting the minutes for it to like.
So was that 2-week crunch worth it?
Yes, because I got to graduate. I didn't want to graduate July, but I doubt anyone graduated in July.
Mm. And before the pandemic hit, what did you do in high school?
I would occasionally hang out with people.
That's it? Like, any extracurricular stuff or nothing like that?
Like, only senior year or?
Or like any year. What did you do in school in general?
I was always in some club, so I always got to talk to people outside, but like I wasn't really consistent with any organization.
Oh, I see. Club. You were just like, if I'm here, I'm here. Yeah. I'm just chilling.
And like the weird thing is, after you finish high school, you don't realize. Like, at the time when you're in high school, you hate it so much. It's a bunch of schoolwork. But like the social interactions you have with people keep you like sane.
Yeah.
And being inside, talking to no one, like it's nice that I'm not in school, but I want to talk to the people I want to talk every day. Like, you didn't realize what you have until like it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Because I asked people that because I did band for all 4 years, then I did theater for 3. So like I was pretty busy.
yeah,
But like yeah, everybody had a thing. Like there were multiple clubs. Like shout out boy Tronchito again. He was in automotive, and my buddy Ray, who's been like the all time guest here. He was in like robotics, and he did band with me. Like there was so many outlets at school. But then there were also like smaller clubs. Like I bet anime club was a thing.
yeah. Anime club was a thing.
I did that for a minute, but then I left. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people were cool there. People were all right.
I didn't really get any drama from there. It was very chill throughout the whole time.
I mean, there was drama.
There was drama, yeah.
There was drama that happened around it.
Yeah.
And I remember the reason why I stopped going in general was because drama that was happening with me. And I was like, well, fuck it. You know, I don't want to be around this. Like, yeah, other people I'll say hi to, but, like, I don't want to be around this shit. But then I had things to fall back on, you know. So then once you leave drama, you're like, what do I do now?
Like, it's like why was I even involved in that?
Why was I involved? Like, man, it may have been interaction, but, and do I really want it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, like, so nothing at all, like any club or anything like that.
I played baseball for like freshman or sophomore year, but that was like the biggest main thing I did. But like,
yeah, because I did see a baseball, and I figured, oh, he was on the team.
yeah.
And then I tried to do my research on like anybody who went to school with. I tried to look your name up in the yearbook. I was like, there's only one set of numbers.
Yeah.
Shit.
Can't really get much information.
Yeah. But then again, we had other things, so we fall back on that. And did you have any experience with COVID-19 whatsoever or no?
I never got COVID-19. We did have a scare 2 weeks ago where it's like my dad interacted with someone that had COVID-19, but they never told my dad, and they already had symptoms, but my dad didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
So we just locked down for a whole week inside the house because my dad's work told him, hey, don't come in.
Yeah.
Stay for a week until you get the negative results. And I don't know, I just had like a mask on the whole time at the house.
Oh
Because
my God.
I was already avoiding my dad, kind of. Like, we didn't really talk much that week, so I was like, there's a chance I won't get COVID, so.
Yeah.
And he didn't get COVID. He came out negative, which was shocking to me because they had physical contact with the people that had COVID.
Like, what did he work in?
No, it was just someone that he would just.
Just talk to?
Visit. Yeah,
going out to visit. Oh, I see. So, damn, that is a scare. Like, when you said it like that, like a COVID-19 scare, I'm like, oh, shit, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Because I mostly hear it secondhand. I never talk to anybody who probably has it.
Yeah.
And my experience with it was within family.
Yeah.
So, it's not like I went out and got it from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And, like, then, I don't know, like, people still go out regardless. So, like,
I still went out, but, like, I took more precaution. I just wore a mask.
Yeah.
My hand sanitizer everywhere. It's like, I took more precaution. I've interacted with people that have COVID, but I fortunately never got it because I was careful. I was smart about it.
Yeah. And I thought, like, the week before I had it, I was out with friends. Like, we were just, like, we would do, like, COVID safety type things. Like, we would eat in someone's car or whatever. But then a week later, oh, I have it. Oh, shit, do we have it? And they ended up, it was a negative for both of them. They didn't get sick. So I was like, as soon as I got it. And then I had to quarantine.
It's crazy how some people just never get it no matter how close they are with someone. And some people that are just, like, slight contact and they just get it out of nowhere. Because I know someone that had COVID in their household and they were all up with their family, obviously because they had to quarantine. And the family members, those 3 weeks never got COVID. They always had a negative result.
Damn.
But she got positive and she had some crazy symptoms.
Damn. I didn't really have crazy symptoms, like me myself. I only had like horrible fucking head, like I was getting punched in the head. And, my body heat just felt like I went for a run. And then it would feel like heavy breathing. Yeah. Just like you would feel heavy breath. And I think the craziest thing for me is I tried to take an alcohol bath. And
Did that work out?
Well, it worked out, but it didn't work out because I had a cut on my toe that day too.
And it just, the whole time, it just stinging.
And I thought it would be worse. But I took 2 baths 2 days in a row, and the second day it burned. The water burned straight up, and I was like, what the fuck? But it worked out because it cooled down my body. That's what it's supposed to do.
You had a fever?
Yeah. Like pretty bad one. So like I was just trying to like cool off, and it works. It works. That's how I was able to like sleep without having to feel too uncomfortable. Because I'm like really hot natured, and I don't like it. So I'll fall asleep, and then if I'm too hot, I wake up and I can't fall asleep.
How long did you have those symptoms for?
I only had those symptoms. It's kind of hard to tell because they didn't get too bad until a certain day.
Or at least the strong symptoms.
Yeah. And I only quarantined for 10 days. They said 10 days instead of 14.
Yeah, then they changed it like during that. Was this like 2 months ago?
This was back in August.
Oh, okay, because I think they still said 14 days throughout the time. But they eventually changed it to 10 days.
Yeah, I think that's when they started doing that.
Yeah.
But then after 10 days, I didn't even get a negative test because we went to a hospital. And then the hospital said, come back in a week. So
I was about to ask if you ended up.
We just went back in a week, and they're like, oh, you're still feeling sick? And then we're like, we just came back because you told us to. What are we supposed to do? So they had us in a waiting room, and they were checking us, yada, yada, yada. And then the doctor comes in. He's like, I have no papers for y'all. As far as I know, y'all are COVID-free. And we were like, no test? There's no test in this hospital right now? Nope.
I think they just had so many patients that were a lot more severe. They're like, you're
we
better,
need to use.
So it's like just
go ahead.
Just go ahead and move on with your life.
Yeah. And then fuck. And then after that, nothing. Like probably after the 8th or 9th day, I didn't feel no symptoms after my 10 days. Like, but then by day 10, I was still like, I can still be contagious. Yeah. So I'm still gonna do like wore a mask everywhere, sprayed the fuck out of my room with like Lysol, sprayed everything. I touched with Lysol, even with the gloves, washed the gloves. Yeah. Like, oh my god, it was. I would every time I left the room, I'd have to like, hey, I might get hungry. Like, let me just.
Did any of your other family members get COVID?
Besides the ones who I technically got it from, in this house, because weird fact about me, this house and the another neighboring house, I live here, but I technically live over there because my parents. This is my grandparents' place, but neighboring house, I come here or I live here, so nobody here got it because I was extra careful, but. In this house, people are more susceptible. My grandparents, they're older people. And, like, anybody who's probably been in this house could, we used to have gatherings and different shit. So, like, if anybody got sick and anybody has a condition, then, it's right then and there. So, this is like an at-risk.
Scary.
Yeah. So, my place is at risk is what I'm saying. But nobody got it because, I was quarantining to the max.
Because like for the COVID pandemic, I wasn't really worried about me. I was worried about getting other people sick. That was my worry throughout the whole time. Like my family, they're relatively healthy.
Yeah.
But there's always that chance where it's like it hits them strong because I know my dad knew someone from their work that literally died 3 days after he saw him all healthy. And it was like, oh, this is a lot more serious than what we thought.
Mm-hmm. And then they say that my uncle probably had it because in December of 2019, he had pneumonia and he was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. So then they started saying, well, maybe he got it. And like, we didn't know it was COVID at the time. We just wrote it off as it was a severe pneumonia or something like that. So they say he may have had it, but I don't know.
When was this?
This was in December of 2019, going into January of 2020.
Oh, okay,
I didn't get sick until August of 2020.
Yeah, I realized there probably was doubt. It was probably something else.
Yeah.
But there's rumors where COVID was here before we even knew it.
Yeah. So he may have been ground zero for us. Crazy, right? Like, you got to start saying stuff from, like, I Am Legend and shit. You ever seen I Am Legend?
No.
Really? Well, I'll lace you up right quick. I Am Legend is a movie starring Will Smith, and it's in 2019 or 2015, something like that, like one of those years. And he's in New York City, and there's a whole apocalypse pandemic with a flu virus or something like that, and it turns everybody into fast zombies, like from Left 4 Dead or something like that. And then he's trying to find a cure because he's a doctor, he's a military doctor. So he's trying to find a cure, and this is just a badass movie.
I think I saw memes about it.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like, oh, this predicted
yeah.
what happened here.
Oh, that movie was the one where it predicted Batman versus Superman because I had a big old poster of Batman and Superman.
I saw that movie.
Yeah. Did you really? I didn't actually see that
The
one.
Batman vs Superman one. I've been told it wasn't good, but like I don't know. I personally enjoyed it. I don't.
They said the same thing about Suicide Squad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like people hated it and all this other stuff. I was like, I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't
And then
enjoy.
everyone is like criticizing it. Is like I'm not gonna say much.
Yeah, like I didn't like Jared Leto. To be fair, I didn't. But Will Smith, Margot Robbie, everybody else in the movie, I liked. Yeah, and then I got hyped because Justice League. Justice League was teased at the end of Suicide Squad, with what was his name, Ben Affleck, when he was Batman. When Ben Affleck was like, "Hey, I need the files on this, this, and this," and it was the Flash and like whoever else would be part of the new Justice League. But what I was gonna say is, so you graduated, COVID-19. What a year! What a school year! Life after high school now. What is it? How is it?
Different.
Different.
Well, like I was working throughout the fall
Mm.
at a warehouse, the Walmart warehouse, right near the
Oh,
Texas Motor Speedway up north.
I
And
know.
then
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that was before the third wave.
Oh.
So it was like around October, November, December that time. And I remember there was only like one case every 2-3 days in the warehouse. And then
Oh
by
my
the end of November, there was like 5 new COVID cases in a day.
In a
6
day.
And it was like, yeah, I'm just going to resign here because this is getting insane.
Yeah.
I'm not going to risk it. I could afford not working. My parents
Yeah.
have like stable income. If I could avoid getting COVID, I'll
You'll take the precaution.
yeah.
Crazy enough, my last day, because I used to work third shift, so I would get home like at 5 in the morning.
Oh, same. I
Oh,
worked
yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I worked from like 6 in the afternoon to
Yes.
6 in the evening.
Yes, you get there like you get home at 6 in the
Weekdays or
evening.
weekends?
Mine was, oh my god, it was end of the weekend, midweek.
Oh, I worked from Saturday to Monday, so I worked my weekend. So a lot of plans had to be canceled.
Damn, that fucking sucks. But yeah. And then the drive, because I know where you're talking about. I had to drive like 30 minutes away or something
Oh,
like that.
same. I had to drive 30 minutes away
So, but it's calming driving at night though.
too. Yeah,
it-
but like it's free. Well, actually not because like it's 5. Everyone is starting to go back to work, and it's like pretty much rush hour, but in the morning.
And I used to stay up. And this is where I was gonna like lead the story to. I stayed up that day, and I went to Aldi with my brother. Went grocery shopping. I was like, yeah, I got a good pocket right now. Why not buy a little something? And I got a text message because I wasn't out of the system yet for the job. I wasn't out of the system yet. I got a text message saying, hey, we have our first confirmed case. If you have any like
Symptoms.
or no, he said that because there were rumors that people already got it, but this was a text that everybody gets, absolutely everybody, workers, higher ups, everybody, and they like there's confirmed cases here or a confirmed case here. You might have concerns, yada yada yada. If there's anything, talk to the on staff whoever, and we'll see what's up with you. And that was it. And I was like, wow,
And
I
it
just
was-
left.
And it was the beginning of the pandemic, right? So like everything was a scare. Like, oh, one COVID case. Okay, let's be
Let's
more
back
precautious.
off. Yeah.
And like it's very different from how they acted from me because it was already October, November, December. We were getting like 100,000 plus COVID cases a day
Yeah.
in the United States. So it's like, oh, there's a new COVID case, and everyone is so casually like, oh, okay, that's
Oh.
another case.
I remember the first time I kind of had a COVID scare was like we had socially distant stations, and then they assigned someone.
Yeah.
They assigned someone some busy work, and the busy work was, you want me to clean your screen? All right, cool. Clean the screen, and they'd be filthy, straight up. That's why someone got assigned, and they did their job, right? But the same person, they went behind a little duct, and then out of nowhere, their head pops out with the little thing, and they went, someone got that corona. Someone on the dock got the corona.
Is that how y'all got told?
That was where the rumor started. Like, I didn't hear it from no one else, or I didn't get it from a text. This was like a couple weeks before, where just the cleaner was like, someone got that corona. And then, weirdly enough, on my birthday, I worked on my birthday, and then out of nowhere, The next week I'm supposed to go back into work. I feel sick.
And it came out negative because it was a scare, right?
No. I was sick, but then I felt better, and then I worked my last 1 to 2 weeks there. But then, like I said, the first day I was off work, I get the text saying we have a confirmed case. I was like,
And everyone's scared.
did I have it? Am I asymptomatic? What's happened? And then after that, I kind of thought I was bulletproof. I'm like, at best I may be asymptomatic.
I got antibodies.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to get no one else sick.
Yeah.
That's like your same concern. Like before I got it, I thought I may be asymptomatic, so my best bet is to follow protocol and just not get anybody else sick, because that's the point of the game, not to get anybody else sick. So same thing for you and me, same thing. So I know we gotta text it over. Thank you, appreciate that. That was 16. How long do you think we've been going? How long? Because I always get people to guess this.
25 minutes.
36 minutes, actually. Crazy. And we're getting into it. You're a fight fan. Big fight fan, boxing, UFC.
I follow it.
You follow it?
Like, I just started getting into it, like, during quarantine.
Quarantine? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I just tried to get motivated throughout the summer. And then I found McGregor's story on how he came up to UFC.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I got into it.
Damn.
Like, he's inspirational as fuck.
That is inspirational, that is.
And, like, his story is interesting, how he wanted to be from a small town in Ireland. And then I started slowly getting into other fighters.
Yeah.
In
like
boxing or in UFC. And then I started learning, well, not learning myself, but, like, seeing their techniques. And I was like,
that's
this
cool.
This is an interesting sport.
Yeah. It's the way I got into it is like I was kind of thrown in because my brother, he wanted to just go watch it at Hooters and eat wings and chill out, right? I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat some wings and watch some fights. And you watch the main card, and that's where
that's what everyone.
Yeah. So that fight, I saw John Jones defend the title before he vacated it. He was light heavyweight champ at the time, and then. That was the same event where Ben Askren fought Robbie Lawler, and Robbie Lawler fucking dunked him on his head straight up like a badass slam, and he started wailing on him, but then he put in a choke, and it was like people thought it was a bad stoppage. Like Robbie was like, no, I'm not out.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I didn't fade out, but they counted it as a submission for Ben Askren, and that was the same one where Kamaru Usman started his welterweight title reign when he beat Tyron Woodley. So I got thrust into it because I was like, I like all these people.
How long ago did you get into it?
That was 29. That was like 2 years ago, actually, like March 2nd, 2019. Yeah. It came up on Snapchat about a day or two ago. So I've been into it for about 2 years now. 2 years just watching.
I'm just getting into it. It's like, it's a fun sport to watch. I used to just watch, like, I grew up on it. There's parties, like if Canelo fights, everyone is watching.
Everybody's watching. Everybody's surrounding the TV. Yeah, beers everywhere.
I used to have fun by like just like writing down who I think is gonna win.
Yeah.
And like pretend I was like the judge scorecard.
Yeah.
And
really, you scored the fights?
When I was a kid, like when I was 8 or 9, I would just score the fights.
Damn. And would you be right?
No, most of the time I was wrong.
Damn.
Like I remember the first fight I remember vividly watching was the Canelo versus Mayweather fight.
Yes, I remember that. I think I remember some before, like maybe Miguel Cotto or Pacquiao, but when it was Canelo versus Mayweather, everybody was on the edge of their seat for that one. And I remember that one. That was Canelo's first and only loss.
Yeah.
So we kind of both saw Canelo lose for the first time, but then ever since then,
have you seen his defense?
Yes.
How he like avoids the punches.
I think he's trying to take a book out of Floyd Mayweather's page.
That's what I was thinking.
When it comes to head movement and shoulder rolls.
It's like some Spider-Man shit, right?
Yeah, it is some Spider-Man. It's like some Sixth Sense. Like he knows you're coming, motherfucker. And then he's finna throw as soon as you're coming. Yeah. He's coming too.
Yeah, I think he learned it from the Mayweather. I think that fight changed how his fighting style was. Mm-hmm. Because Canelo was young when he fought Mayweather. He was like in his early 20s, right? I
think so. I'm not too sure.
So he was still like rough.
Yeah.
Mayweather was very experienced.
Mm-hmm. And then it kind of follows the same story of every Mayweather fight. Everybody's on the offense and he's on the defense.
And that's how he wins the fight. He doesn't usually win by knockouts. He just wins by...
He TKO'd McGregor, though.
Yeah, he TKO'd... Well, that was everyone wanted McGregor to win that, but, like, looking back, it's not shocking that Mayweather won.
Yeah, it's not shocking.
But, like, if you put Mayweather in the McGregor ring...
Ooh, no. Get away from our octagon. because I'm thinking if Floyd knows or Mayweather knows he would can put on some offense that's gonna knock someone out, he would. He would.
Yeah, but the main gist about McGregor is his lower body
Yeah.
abilities. Is it's insane. His kicking ability.
His kicking ability is every other ability except just his boxing.
Yeah.
Because he's got other things, whether
he's good at upper body, but Mayweather specializes in that. That's what boxing is.
Yeah, that specific sport. But this one, there's more freedom around it.
Yeah, there's more freedom around
it. You see him in his fights, he's bouncing around, he's trying to do the leg kick, leg feint, and then he goes into a bit of his boxing, and then he goes on his defense, and then groundwork. I don't see him much. I don't see much groundwork anymore.
He's very good at avoiding groundwork.
Avoiding groundwork, he had to do that with, I think, Nate. And then he definitely had to do this with Poirier in the recent fight. He had to defend. And I bet he had a hell of a time defending against Habib.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, McGregor is I don't get the McGregor hate. I don't really get it.
The what? The McGregor hate?
Yeah. Because there's a bunch of hate with McGregor. I think it's his personality.
I think it's because people don't like someone who's so cocky.
Yeah, that's...
But then there's the other side of the coin where, sorry to cut you off, the other side of the coin where people were like, this is entertaining.
Yeah. He makes it like a show.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what got me into this sport is I see if you're a UFC fan, you don't really like it, you're just here for the fights, but if you're a newcomer, it's that's how you get into it. It's the $1 million fight.
Yeah, it's the money fights. That's how you make a money fight, because you got to entertain. And that's why there's all these guys that talk now. It's cool. When you follow a fighter, you follow anything they say or anyone who they may fight as well, which is cool. Kobe Covington.
Yeah.
He did the whole Donald Trump supporter stuff, or coming in with these tacky suits. Coming in with the old belt when he was interim champ, and then even though they stripped it from him, he wore the belt anyway. He's like, I want that Power Ranger belt. Fuck it, I'm gonna get rid of this. Give me the Power Ranger belt.
And that's how you get people into the sport.
Yeah, or the Jorge Masvidal. He blew up. It's like an overnight thing where he blew up. He's Street Jesus now. He's the BMF. He's a BMF champ. Or Nick Diaz.
Yeah. Nick Diaz. Yeah. Well, does he still fight often?
Nick, he hasn't fought. They said he was gonna do a comeback, but I'm not too sure. Nate, last fight was Masvidal back in November of 2019.
Because the only reason I know Nick Diaz, well, that's how I got into Nick Diaz, was because the UFC video games on PS3.
Oh, I see.
And that's how I learned a lot of the names early on. And then I heard Nick Diaz was still fighting a few years ago. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still fighting still.
Nah, I think Nick's last fight was probably the Anderson Silva fight. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure exactly what his last fight was, but it was recent, 2015, 2016. So we just missed it. Just missed it. But seeing Nate, I want to see Nate fight again. Most definitely. I like his style. I like his groundwork. I like when he's slapping the shit out of people. Or when he wants to talk shit and want to throw. Why not? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know this is kind of outside, but did you see the what's his name? The Mike Tyson?
The Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Did you watch that?
I watched it. I watched the Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
That was ugly.
That was ugly.
Nate was so cocky coming into the fight. Oh, I'm an athlete. I'm going to win Jake Paul. And then Jake Paul knocking him down to the ground 3 times. It was
boom!
And then, no, that's embarrassing.
That was pretty embarrassing. I don't understand how... he was just swinging for no reason. Yeah. And then if someone actually knows a bit of training, they know how to play defense and be oh, counter, boom. Yeah. And that's pretty much what happened. I feel bad.
I felt bad for him, but I secretly wanted Jake Paul to win to see how online would react. I'm not a fan of him, but I wanted to see how the online community would react if Jake Paul won the fight against an athlete, an NBA athlete. I
mean, I kind of figured Jake would win. I was really when I was watching it, I was I really hope. Come on, Nate, come in clutch. You didn't.
Oh, okay. So we were the opposite. You wanted Nate Robinson to win.
I wanted him to win just for the memes, and I wanted Jake Paul to lose. Period.
Oh, the memes were gonna come in regardless of who was gonna win.
Right, but
the way he lost.
The way he lost. and the way Jake just played, like, I'll downplay Jake anyway I please, but like just knowing basic boxing, making someone look like someone like a homeless person from the street swinging, like.
And the way he fell on the ground face.
Oh no! Like I felt bad as soon as he swung, and then boom, I felt bad right as he was falling. As he was falling, I felt bad. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
And the internet just exploded.
The
funniest memes I've seen in a long while.
Yeah. And then I follow KSI like on YouTube.
Yeah. And then he say like, "Oh, it's not a real fight," and then like it wasn't really someone that was like not into boxing.
Oh yeah, it's not a. Well, he's not facing a pro fighter.
Yeah.
Even though it's supposed to be a pro fight.
Yeah, that's what KSI was saying against Jake Paul. It's like, it's not really a pro fighter, so you're still not as good as me.
Like, don't be
too cocky.
Don't be too cocky. Like, we're internet stars. We're not pro boxers.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to get in the ring with Canelo tomorrow
that's
or whoever, you know.
You're gonna even thinking you're gonna win. It's like. Really.
But that may be part of the process too, to like psych yourself up and all that other stuff. Like you would I think that's how Anderson Gibb. That's what happened to him. Why he ended up falling everywhere and then getting dropped is because adrenaline dump, or like he was like, let's go. Oh, it's go time.
He's just tired by like the in the fight,
and then couldn't find his footwork. He couldn't find his balance, and I was like, oh no.
And then McGregor like. I know that we're going back to fight.
Yeah, fight.
And, like, I don't know, McGregor seemed different before the last fight.
He
wasn't as cocky.
Yeah.
And he was more chill about it. It's like, okay, that's interesting to say the least. And then how he positioned himself, his body work was, like...
stiff.
He was stiff.
Yeah.
And, like, he didn't seem as loose as he usually is or confident in his abilities. Yeah. And... that's what costed him the fight. Yeah. I think that's what he needs. He just needs an ego boost. An ego boost
in order to psych yourself up. Yeah. Because in the Cowboy fight, he came out like a bat out of hell. He fucking... They closed up. They tied up with a clinch. Fucking shoulder.
Oh, yeah. And then lasted like less than a minute, right?
Yeah. Like 40 seconds. Yeah. 47 seconds. And then Cowboy tried to throw a kick. He was like, all right, I'm going to throw a kick. Oh, shit, I got you.
He's creative. McGregor's creative with how he wins his fights. Like the shoulder, no one expected that.
I didn't expect that. And I think that's what broke Cowboy's orbital. Right, and then the knee or the flying knee, the kicks, and whatever ground and pound were just extra at that point. I think those shoulder blows really fucked up his eye badly. But, like, yeah, him being stiff, and then Poirier just seemed in the zone right there. That's what.
And he was like, he wanted this fight for years and years.
Ever since their first bout, and it was different that time. It's
such a different energy,
different fighters, different energy, different time.
Do you think Conor is past his prime?
That is, wow. I want to say no, but...
Or do you think he just had a one-off fight?
I think this was a one-off fight. When I first saw that they were going to fight again, I was like, this seems like a one-off fight to me. But then when they put the hype behind it, it seemed okay. But then when he lost, it boosted Poirier, but it also... It didn't bring down McGregor because he's coming off a loss. That kind of puts him in a position where he can have another money fight right then and there. Because what if...
They're going to do a best of 3, right? Because that's what they said after the fight. Okay, we're going to do a best of 3.
And he said he wants to run it back with Poirier. So him and Poirier doing Conor Poirier 3, that sets you up either before or after that fight, Conor versus Nate 3.
It's a free money fight.
Yeah, free money fight. And people want Nate to come back. Yeah. And then if whoever closes that trilogy should go up whoever. So if it was Nate to win, then he should fight Poirier again.
I think they're just counting out McGregor too quickly.
Maybe so. Because we haven't seen him lose like that.
Yeah. Since the beginning of his career?
Yeah, in the beginning of his career.
Like he had his first loss, I think.
Yeah, like we saw him get put out by Khabib in a submission, but that's Khabib.
Yeah,
like Khabib is known for doing this type of thing. So I think Conor should fight Nate and get that out of the way. Or not get it out of the way, but that's his next move that makes the most sense.
And he was hyping up going against him in Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see that. I was like, okay, if it happens in Cowboy Stadium,
I want to go. I want to go.
Because I remember... 12 years ago or so, there was the Pacquiao fight, but I was too young too. I was like,
yeah.
But now it's like, I want to see McGregor.
I want to see McGregor
in Cowboy Stadium in front of thousands.
in front of thousands.
And I'm glad they didn't do it in Cowboy Stadium this time, so they could get a full crowd.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I don't think he's past his prime yet. He's in a good position where he can make more money and do more fights.
Yeah.
Like, because I want to see Nate 3. And if Conor keeps going this way and he goes through Nate, Poirier 3. And then once that happens, see who's fighting for the title. And that's another thing. Who's going to fight for the lightweight title if Khabib vacates it?
Yeah.
You got Oliveira. You got Ferguson, who wants to come back in some way, shape, or form anywhere. I say Ferguson, Oliveira, let's have them scrap. Let's see that slugfest and go. And then let's see where Poirier is.
Oh, there's a lot of things going on in the UFC right now.
Yeah, and then the welterweight division's on fire too. Like I said, we are in a place where it's stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked. Right
it's stacked. Like
there's always that one person like that's above the rest. Everyone seems like so leveled right now.
Yeah. Like everybody's got their own excitement, but once you get into all these fights, then you're excited every day.
Yeah, you're excited.
Like I know Usman, he just defended the title against Gilbert Burns, and he called out Jorge yet again, even though he beat Jorge.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So I'm like, why? Like, me, I think Jorge's past his prime already, personally.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to show me something here, and I hope him and Colby, since Usman beat Colby, and Colby says he wants to run it back with Usman, I was like, let them fight. Why not? You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody has to show me something. Like, it's like... Everybody has something to prove, but that's the name of the sport.
And so many fighters are coming up, and they're so cocky right away. It's like, you need to chill. Show me some results first, and then maybe we'll talk about you going against these.
Exactly. But then there's also like if you're supporting the cocky fighter and they're cocky all the way through and they happen to win, that proves who's this guy? What's he doing?
That's how you get your name.
Yeah.
But you either embarrass yourself from saying a bunch of shit or
then you
go to glory.
Yeah. It's a risk. Yeah. That's the risk of the sport, really. I don't know where we are. So, what fights are you excited for right now, as of the UFC? Like, who do you follow the most besides McGregor?
Right now, just McGregor.
Right now, just McGregor? All right, that's cool. That's cool, but because McGregor has a lot. He has a lot. I had to get into old McGregor before I started watching him. Yeah. Like, I remember I had one video that was a compilation of him tormenting Jose Aldo.
Oh yeah,
when they did the whole world tour, like he starts it with he has a picture of Aldo and he's like in some bar and he just tears it. He's like tell that fucker I'm coming. Tell that bitch I'm coming. Tell him I'm coming for him.
You almost broke your microphone.
Oh yeah. That one actually dropped earlier, but yeah, like the amount of shit talking he did, like
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed how many. There's not that many fights McGregor does anymore. Yeah. It's like so separated now. Like he used to have like 3, 4, 5 fights a year. Now he's like once every year or two. It's like, I think that's what costed him the last fight.
Just being on a layoff.
Yeah, just being on a layoff.
Because he was red hot when he was double champ. He was red hot because
he was fighting everyone.
And then he had that's what got Nate Diaz on fire too, because Nate beat Conor when he was double champ, and it was no title was on the line.
Wasn't McGregor the first double champ?
Yeah. He beat Eddie Alvarez, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But he beat Jose Aldo, and he beat Eddie Alvarez somewhere along the way, too. So there it is. You know, he's a double champ. But then here comes Nate Diaz, and he manages to beat him, and then they do another fight, and he wins. So they're 1-1. So I don't know. Let's see. I mean, McGregor's whole career is pretty good for the most part.
He has a few losses, but like,
yeah,
you're not gonna be like, not many fighters will not.
And then I really started paying attention here and there when the whole Khabib shit happened, and like the whole story about what he's not even on the card. Why is he here? He fucking did what? He threw a dolly at the bus. What? There were other fighters in the bus. Michael Chiesa got cut. Rose Namajunas is fucking. Like, you scared the shit out of Ricardo. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Like, oh, I thought Khabib was in there. Like, he he's crazy. And then the whole shit that happened after their fight, where Habib jumped in the crowd trying to fight Dylan
Oh yeah, I
Dennis,
saw that. Like,
and then someone from Habib's team came in and fucking punched McGregor. Like, everything was crazy.
I don't know how you could even control them, since like they're fighters, they're little fighters. You can't
Yeah.
really separate them.
And then what do you call it? They didn't want to put the belt on Habib, and Habib was pissed off at that too. Like, damn. And then the thing that really picked me up on it was there was a GIF, GIF.
Yeah.
GIF. It's not GIF. It's GIF.
It's GIF.
It's GIF.
Yeah.
There was a GIF of fucking Habib cocking Connor, and he was like, "Ugh!" And then that's when he threw the groundwork on him. So I was like, damn, someone rocked Connor. Who is this guy? And then when I was like, this is Habib Nurmagomedov, and I was like, oh shit. And then that leads me, this is something I did not send you. So like I'll be able to like get like a quick thought on it. This is called the quick fire thoughts on UFC fighters, and I have a bunch of names right here, and you just tell me what you think about them. First off, McGregor.
The GOAT. Well, not the GOAT. But like, he's amazing, cocky. That's what I love about him. That's how I got into. He's the reason I'm into this sport.
He's the reason. Dustin Poirier.
Good fighter.
Good fighter.
Overall good fighter.
Overall good fighter. Habib Nurmagomedov.
I don't know much about him.
Really?
Honestly.
You know he's undefeated, right?
Oh, I guess he's good. I guess he's great.
And then he retired. That's why they said that he's gonna vacate the lightweight title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the thing, because the thing about Habib, sorry, going a little track off, but it is a crazy story about, it was supposed to be always Habib versus Tony Ferguson, that it was going to be this slugfest or wrestlefest or whatever, and that fight got canceled 5 to 6 times already. And then it was Gaethje who fought Ferguson, and then for the interim lightweight title, and then Gaethje fucking, Tony Ferguson's chin is insurmountable. But that was Gaethje's night. And then here comes the big title fight. Habib submits Gaethje, and he's like, my father's not here no more. Yeah. I promised my mom, I'm out. I'm out the sport.
And he's undefeated. So
he's undefeated.
Just might as well leave while
he's on top. So after hearing all that, what do you think of Habib now? Hearing a little bit of that.
I need to look at him more. Because he seems interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of a Mayweather kind of like undefeated kind of deal.
Yeah. Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, the Diaz brothers.
Nick Diaz past his prime, obviously. He defeated McGregor, right? Or was it someone
that
else?
Was Nate. That was his little brother Nate.
Oh, okay, Nate Diaz. Oh, okay, I'm probably confusing them.
Yeah, they're brothers. They're brothers.
Yeah.
But you think Nick Diaz is past his prime?
How old is Nick Diaz?
Nick Diaz is, I think, let's do a quick Google search. Oh, sorry. I'm pretty sure he's in his 30s. I'm not too sure. Because I know, obviously, Nate is younger than him. He is 37. Oh, shit, 37. Damn.
Yeah, way past his prime.
Damn. But I don't know. He looks in great shape. The Diaz brothers are known for their cardio. I mean.
Well, like, I don't know. It's rough for it to be older in UFC than in boxing.
Yeah.
You have to be, like, overall great condition everywhere.
And while we're on track right here, Nate is 35.
Oh, okay. So they're very, very close.
They're very close. So, I mean, do you think they're past their prime? Is that what you're saying?
For the UFC, yes. There's so many up-and-comers that will take his place.
I see. Kamaru Usman, current UFC welterweight champ.
I don't really have much opinion on
Dang.
that. I'm gonna have to search.
John Jones.
John Jones. I'm barely getting into UFC.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you don't know Zhang Weili.
No.
So I'll give you a little insight. She fought. It was Joanna Jacek. I think that's how you say her name. If I butchered it, I'm so sorry. And her versus Zhang Weili, and I think she's the current bantamweight. I know I'm getting that wrong. Probably strawweight, flyweight. I don't know, but she's the current champ in her division. And their fight had over 500 strikes each fighter, and it was like 500 strikes altogether. But it was leg strikes.
500,000. I was like,
no,
I think you got that information wrong.
500 strikes each, and like Zhang Weili, she retained the title. Joanna Jacek's forehead was like swollen, like it ballooned up right here. And, like, it was such a killer fight, and it was very entertaining for a championship fight. And then that was the same card Yoel Romero and Israel Adesanya fought, and it was very underwhelming.
I'm gonna
But
have to watch all these fights.
obviously you probably don't know her, but have you heard of Angela Overkill Hill?
No.
She's she put it in her bio on Instagram because I just recently followed her on Instagram. She says the first African American UFC like women's fighter, I believe, something like that. I'd have to double check on that, but I watched her on the, like you said, you watch somebody on a fight, you're like, oh, all right, I'll watch them more. So I watched her on the prelims because, like, prelims are fun to entertain or fun to watch sometimes, and I was like, man, I like her. So, I'm going to follow her. And you know what? I want to say right now, if I'm following her right now, I'm pretty sure I want Angela Hill to be champion one day, for sure. And then Amanda Nunes. You know Amanda Nunes?
No. I don't really follow the female.
Dude.
I'm missing out on a lot. Right?
Yeah, the female fights are amazing. They're
because
amazing.
everyone knows the male division, their household names.
Yeah, but there are household names in the women's divisions as well, like Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, Zhang Weili now for me, Joanna Jacek. Let's see. Ronda Rousey. Did I say Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, Ronda.
I think I'm missing either Amanda Nunes. So I'm missing someone else. I don't know who. But it's killer, bro. It's killer. And then finally, Stipe Miocic, heavyweight champ right now. No, it's cool. And do you know the current middleweight, and he's challenging for the light heavyweight title, Israel Adesanya? Is
he trying to get a double?
Yeah, he's trying to go for double.
Of that. I don't know much about him, but I've heard of that happening.
The last style bender.
And they remind me, didn't McGregor try to do that?
Yeah, there have been multiple double champs now, like Amanda Nunes, she's a double champ. Connor, he was a double champ. Daniel Cormier was, I think, light heavyweight and heavyweight champ. And now Israel Adesanya, he's the current middleweight champ, and he's undefeated as well. And he's going for the light heavyweight champ against Jan Blachowicz. And I barely knew who Jan Blachowicz was, so I doubt you know who he is either. Yeah. So that leads right into it. UFC 259. You're watching it, right? Or no?
I'll probably watch the highlights.
The highlights?
I can't afford to be using a bunch of my money.
Oh, I see.
Isn't it in a subscription-based thing?
It's on ESPN or any other probably streaming platform, and it roughly goes around for $60. So that's why, like, I'll go to a friend's house or I'll go to Hooters and watch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
And Hooters, they give it? They just show it there?
They show it there, yeah. But you obviously have to eat there and whatever. They don't
want. They're just gonna sit there and they're like,
They don't want you just standing by the door, looking in the window, and be like, "I watched the fight. Leave me alone." Any thoughts on UFC 259? You probably don't know anybody there.
No, I probably don't know anyone there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna go for Adesanya since he's trying to become a double champ, right?
I root for those kind of people.
Yeah, and
Milestone.
Yeah, he is milestone. Like he's got like over 100 wins in kickboxing or whatever, and he's beaten most of the middleweights. He fought Anderson Silva, so he's a big name, and he's a shit talker. He gets a little cocky, but he's also very smart and technical.
I don't usually root for the underdogs.
Yeah.
I usually root for like the people that, like, they already showed how good they are.
Yeah.
Like, I could appreciate dominance when I see it. I could appreciate someone that's dominant in their
Yeah.
sport.
And he was dominant in his recent fight against Paulo Costa, but Paulo Costa, he doesn't even look like a middleweight. He looks like a light heavyweight because of how built he is, but he just picked him apart. And let me get your thoughts on this one. Paulo Costa said recently that a reason for his big loss, because he talked shit on Adesanya all the way, like he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu at their weigh-ins. He tied a black belt on, and he's like, look what I have for you. And it was a white belt. He threw it at him. I was like, motherfucker, wow! Like doing that shit. But when it got time for the fight, Adesanya just picked him apart, was knocking him. He was already bleeding right here. And then when he had him on the ground and pounding him, when they called the fight, he fucking humped Paulo Costa like, fuck you, yeah, let's go. Like, he was saying that, and Paulo Costa really recently came out and said, I think I know why I lost is because I was partially hungover from the previous night.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah,
That
he
is not
said
an excuse.
he said I tried to go to sleep, but I could not fall asleep for the
So-
fight. So I tried to drink 1 glass of wine, then it became 2 glasses, and
That's it.
then it
That's
became
all.
then it became more.
No, that's the most stupid thing you could do before even a fight. No, that's not an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
No.
Like, I don't know.
Because you prepare for that night
Yeah.
to be like the best you could possibly be, and you're just drinking before like.
Yeah.
You could have taken some pill. Wait, is that even legal?
Like, I don't know. Like, because that's either, I think that's a day after weigh-ins or a day or two after weigh-ins. So I don't know. Like, the way, like, you were just reading my mind right now. Like, you prepared for a fight.
Yeah.
You've done the weight cut. You've
Yeah.
done whatever you need to do. Why would you?
Why would you fuck that up?
Yeah. Like, and I don't even know if you're able to take like any like medicine,
sleeping medication.
like even medicine in general.
Yeah.
Like
because like they could always kind of like, oh, you were trying to enhance your performance.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, that's not.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
So, and then Costa is fighting another fighter by the name of Robert Whitaker, and these two guys, they've both lost to Israel Adesanya. Whitaker was the champ, and Israel beat him. So they're about to have a fight night main event, which is free with a subscription of ESPN. So I'm really down to see who wins that one. But I'm really down for Israel Adesanya becoming the double champ this Saturday. And Amanda Nunes, she's fighting too. The double champ is fighting as well. So it's a stacked card.
Oh, here's an interesting fact. With the Canelo fight, it happened like December 20 something, and obviously Canelo's from Guadalajara, Mexico.
Guadalajara,
And
yeah.
that's where I was going. So that exact day I arrived to Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh.
Not Guadalajara, I mean Jalisco, Mexico.
Jalisco, okay.
That exact day I arrived to Jalisco, Mexico. Canelo was fighting, so I was like, oh, what a funny
What a
coincidence.
coincidence.
Yeah.
That's cool. Canelo's just really interesting. Like, there's always something interesting going
He
on.
seems shy.
He's very timid, but I think it's just him being serious and being in the zone. Like, that was funny when he fought Kovalev, that big Russian dude,
Yeah.
and he fell asleep right before the fight because UFC, I think 245. It was the Jorge fight with Nate and Jorge at Madison Square Garden, and they were literally waited because the main event, UFC's main event, was happening and their main event was about to start. So for like a solid 20 minutes, it was just Canelo doing this and Kovalev just walking back and forth because they're like, we're going to wait for this to go out and then we'll have our main event. And then Canelo starches him in the 12th round, knocks him out, and like, damn. So there's always something interesting with Canelo. Like, I literally got to watch Canelo sleep for 20 minutes.
He's underrated.
Canelo?
Yeah, I think he's.
You think he's underrated?
Besides the Hispanic demographic, I think.
Ooh, that's kind of hard because we both come from the Hispanic demographic.
Yeah, but like, I don't really hear much talk about him outside the Hispanic demographic.
That's
He
true.
only has one loss, so I think he's underrated for who he is. They don't talk about him like Tyson. Well, because Tyson was a heavyweight.
Yeah, and then he was heavyweight champ back way when. So him and the Roy Jones fight, and so was Roy Jones. So their fight was kind of it was like a celebrity exhibition, but
they both trained.
But
like
they're fighters.
Didn't Tyson lose like 100 pounds for that fight?
I think
He was very overweight. He was conditioning himself.
Yeah, very much on like the videos that he would post or any videos that would get posted of his training. Like, holy shit!
And then
he
you
still
saw his
got
body.
it.
I was like, oh shit. He looks good for 50 something.
They both did look good in the fight, and then a draw. Can you believe that?
That was disappointing. I saw, and then they took a few minutes to decide on that.
Yeah.
Like, something seems weird.
Something seems weird. Me, like I try to. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't like Roy Jones' fighting style.
Really?
Like he was just like grappling.
Yeah.
Tyson the whole time, and then Tyson was like, "You punch me and I'll punch back harder."
Yeah.
Style. But they're from different eras, so it's like kind of different eras.
Kind of different, but like, They say that they both fought high. That was the interesting thing.
I didn't personally see Roy Jones fight hard or fight
high.
Yeah. He was just grappling the whole time.
Yeah.
Anytime Tyson started giving a lot of punches, he just grappled him for dear life.
And
I didn't see how it could have been a tie.
Yeah.
From my point
Would you
of
watch the second fight if they ran it back?
Tyson wants to fight back. Roy Jones doesn't want to fight it back as much. But I don't know if I would buy it. I would buy it if it
I'd
happened. It's Tyson. I didn't see him because I was obviously not alive and I couldn't remember when his career
Yeah.
ended. So I was like, I'll watch a Tyson fight.
Why not? And then, crazy enough, if you watch the Tyson fight, you've technically seen Israel Adesanya. He was on the commentary team, and that commentary team is goated. Mauro Ronaldo, Israel Adesanya, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg added a different energy. It was his. I wouldn't say it was good or bad.
Yeah.
It was an interesting style of commentating.
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off.
Wait, you played the UFC games, right?
Yes.
Have you ever had Snoop as a commentator?
No.
I think that's in UFC 3. I'm pretty sure. UFC 3, you can have him in knockout mode, and you can select Snoop Dogg to do color commentary.
Does he have a history of commentating?
No. I think that's the only thing he did. But, Snoop Dogg. He's been in movies. He's got his own things. Like, he does music, obviously.
Yeah,
so
that's his main
I'm pretty sure, like, if they asked him to do something, like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah, they already asked him to if he wanted to do it next
Yeah.
time if it ever happened. And he was like, hell yeah, I would do it.
Like, I'm going to perform, I'm going to smoke, and I'm going to watch a boxing fight, and I get
For
that
free.
commentary?
And I get paid.
And I get paid? Like,
He's living the dream. He's living the dream.
I love Snoop Dogg, man. Like, my childhood was filled with him because I played GTA San Andreas to the max. Radio Los Santos, hearing all that good stuff from the 90s. You know what I mean? So, that's your thoughts on UFC 259. I'm very excited for it. But then, let's run it back. Let's run it back to Valentine's Day, 2021, Fort Worth, Texas. The Texas Winter Storm. Holy shit.
I was wondering what happened on Valentine's Day, and then you told me the winter storm happened. And I was like, oh, shit, I feel
Crazy
stupid.
enough, that was that was when Winter Storm started.
Yeah.
Because I remember my girlfriend at the time, I was telling her, hey, it'd be cool if I bring you a present on Sunday. Sunday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then we were hearing rumors all week, like when we were texting, we're like, they say it's going to snow, or is it going to snow? Like, I don't know, is it?
I saw that. I was like, it's Texas. If it's going to snow, it's not going to snow that much.
It's not going to
And it's not going to last that long. It's probably
Yeah.
going to last a few hours if it does snow.
And then, what do you call it? I kind of decided, all right, well, she told me, you know what, stay home. You don't need to drive in this cold anyway. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool, we'll stay home. Sunday rolls around, and
Did the power go out for you?
yes, it did. It
Did it went out that Sunday?
I think, yeah, it did. It went out on that Sunday at around 4, 5, 6, somewhere around that time frame.
So it was late for y'all. The power didn't go out, and for me, it went out so early. It went out like at 1:30 p.m.
Oh my god! And
But-
where were you when it happened?
I was in my house. I was gonna watch a NASCAR event. Obviously, I like racing. It was the first race of the season where 10 million people watch it.
What?
And then, so it's like, oh, okay, I'm ready. I'm on the TV. I'm gonna see it on TV. I was hyped up. I've hyped it up for weeks to see this event. And then 30 minutes before it happened, the power goes out. And then I was like, oh shit, what do I do? And then I remember that Spectrum has this thing where it's like, oh, you can watch it from your phone if you wanted to.
Oh, and
So I just downloaded the Fox app. I still had the good thing is that there was still service everywhere.
Service.
Where it usually doesn't happen like that. If the power goes out, usually the service goes out as well.
yeah,
But for me, fortunately, the service was still on.
and so you're able to watch it.
Yeah, and the good thing is it rain delayed the race, so the power went back on like at 7.
Oh.
So for me, I was fortunate. I was one of the lucky ones with power.
Yeah.
It only went out for like 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours. Wow. Because
there's people that didn't have power not even after the winter storm finished. They
But-
still didn't have power.
like we didn't have power here for about 2.5 days,
2.5 days.
and we didn't have water for about 3.5.
Because it was, I didn't really think of it much. I thought it was gonna be a normal power outage. It's like, oh,
Right.
okay, just like it's gonna get fixed in a few hours, which it did for me. But for many, I was
For
like,
many, it was
like,
lights
it-
out.
until like it was above freezing.
Yeah.
It was above freezing, and it was like, what the fuck, this is. And then I didn't have water for those last 4 days.
Yeah.
Throughout almost the whole time, I didn't even have water in it. And the people that did have water, it was contaminated.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Cra-
hated it.
Crazy enough, where I was when the power outage was, I was in the shower.
And then it just
and
turned off.
everything just turned off, and I was like, well, shit.
Is your boiler electric or?
Gas.
Oh, for me it's electric. So even when the power went out, we didn't
Have any hot water?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. And then it got cold in here real quick. Like this curtain that we had to put it in the kitchen, and we tried to let the heat circulate, so it could be a warm spot.
No, for us, we just when the power went back on, it was still cold. It doesn't matter how much energy you waste; it's still gonna be cold. But the good thing is my house isn't really that big. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
And that one heater and the AC system in our house was able to get the job done as long as we didn't open the door. Anytime anyone opened the door, we just thought, "Why did you open the door?" And then it would take a whole hour for it to reheat.
Oh my god, that's fucked up, but it's also a little hilarious.
Yeah. And I remember I woke up one day and it was like 1 degree. It was 1 degree. It never reached the negatives, but it was like 1 degree. And I had just screenshot it. It was like, okay.
Interesting enough, I do, besides podcasts, I do gaming for YouTube. Yeah. And I actually made a vlog. I don't make vlogs much often. I used to do them back in the day, like when I started YouTube. But I made a short one, and was part of the vlog, I probably shouldn't say, but, you know, I'll post it there anyway. Part of the vlog was me videotaping myself at 4 o'clock in the morning when it was 1 degrees. Because I woke up at that time. My phone was like on 5% because, you know, no electricity. And I woke up, had to put a bunch of jackets on, put a bunch of stuff on, get under, and then just kind of huddle. And then my phone was going to die, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to...
Did you go to your car? Did you have a car charger?
Yeah. That's how I survived. So I recorded this video saying, you know, it's like 1 degrees right now. Temperatures are a little unbearable right now. The temperature's not going to rise for another... It was 4 a.m. The temperature would not reach 9 degrees until 9 a.m.
9, the max.
Yeah, the max, right? So then when it was finally morning, I decided, hey, I'm going to go. When it gets the warmest, I'm going to go in my car, turn on the fucking heater full blast, charge the phone, and, you know, try to wait this out. I was in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. My phone only charged to 7%.
And downtown was even off. Even a lot of the business downtown or a lot of the buildings didn't even have power. They didn't.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, not even downtown has power. Not even a lot of the government places have power.
My dad works downtown, and all that place was just no power whatsoever. And that's where a lot of important places like factories, buildings, etc., they all lost power, meaning they all lost production, which is crazy.
I don't know. I just found it interesting because how did my house, a small house, like no one cared. I don't think the power company cares about it that much compared to a lot of the buildings downtown. How did I still have power? And
I think I know how, and it's a little urban myth, but it's not really because it works. Without revealing your location, or our location really, you live near a fire department.
Yeah.
Like in the same area, and the fire department's grid always has to be on regardless of conditions. So their little grid kind of, I think you were in their grid.
Yeah, I think
and
I was
so
in their
that you still lost power.
Yeah.
But like my brother, he lives in that same area, but he didn't lose power. At all. They were fortunate enough not to lose water or power whatsoever.
Not even water?
Yeah.
But I imagine it was contaminated, right?
Probably so.
That's insane how even the water supply was contaminated. Like, you would expect if they're going to prioritize the electricity, it would be in the power supply.
Yeah.
Like something very vital.
What is this, Detroit? Oh, this is fucked up.
Flint, Michigan?
Flint, Michigan. Yes. Flint, Michigan.
No, it was like, this is like third world country things.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have water, we don't have power. And people even died during this.
They froze. Like, it all started with the I-35 crashes, and that was very tragic.
It was probably a preview of what was yet to come.
What was yet to come. It was I don't want to say the calm before the storm, but it was like...
It was a warning shot.
This was the hill. Now we're about to go down.
We're about to go down.
This was the peak. Now it's going to go down. And just icy roads.
And it wasn't even city news. It was like nationwide. Like, it was 100+ half-mile pileup.
And then people who were stuck at the same time, like people with no injuries whatsoever, happened to be stuck in traffic, some of them were getting hypothermia by
Because
being there so long and being in the middle of this mess and trying to get attended to or trying to be found. People got hypothermia, and I think some people died. Yeah, like I think it was less than 10
yeah, it was
people who
less than
died.
10.
Like,
But a lot of people got injured.
yeah, most definitely. Whether if you're
And
in
a lot of the videos are
horrific
to watch.
horrific. Like I think one of them was a truck going over
Yeah.
the rails onto
And
the
I was
other
like,
other lane.
no way he survived that. No way the car that went.
Yeah, crazy shit. And I remember I knew it was gonna be a bad day because the ice was on my car hard, like it hardened up. Like whenever
I don't know. Wasn't it just snow?
it looked like snow at first, like it looked like frost that you could just like take off or it would dissolve, but no, it was hardened.
Was it before the winter storm? Like the week before?
It was the same morning as the I-35 crash.
Oh, okay.
That's why I knew
it was ice. It was just ice.
I knew it was bad there, but then after that, then that's when the storm kicked in.
Yeah.
Then that's when Valentine's kicked in, and then 1 degrees, and then they say it wasn't gonna last. They say it was gonna last a whole another week, but it didn't. It ended up melting.
I thought it was only gonna last a few hours, honestly, and then it got to 20 something, and then the snow's gonna stay here for a while. And then I remember I jinxed myself on this one. I remember a few weeks prior to this happening, I was like, man, I remember in 2009 there was a time period where the snow stayed for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
and as a kid, you liked that. It was like,
you
that's
it.
fun. And I was
no
like,
school.
what? And I was like, wouldn't it be fun to have snow for a good while again?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's pure hell. I hated it so much. I hope I never go through that again.
I mean, I ended up leaving the house. Like the people who live here got offered to like go somewhere else, but they're like, no, we'll stay here. If you're gonna go, they told me if you're gonna go anywhere, you should go. You know, you don't have to go through this shit. And like we'll just chill here. Literally chill.
Yeah.
But I did leave with my brothers, and we went sledding down hills and different stuff. So
was there places where
like
was this at?
over here?
Don't tell me it was like north side down the hill.
Yeah, like we were finding hills all over the streets, around schools, like anywhere that had a small incline. We took top of canisters. My brother unscrewed the top of his garbage can. And we slid.
At least y'all enjoyed it. I didn't really go out throughout the whole time. Like I touched the snow. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's snow. We never get this in Texas.
The snow proved to me that leather gloves are the best because I touched the snow with like I let someone borrow my leather gloves that I put over, and I touched the snow with like my just rather
and it hurts.
Cotton. Yeah, like it was all wet.
It stings.
And I was like, this shit fucking hurts.
No, and then another thing that the winter storm effect is, I was gonna get my second dosage of the COVID vaccine like on a Wednesday. It was like the last day before there was like complete snow. And were you about to say something?
Oh no! I'm readjusting myself because I'm sliding around. I don't know why.
And then the day before, I was excited for my vaccine. I was like, finally, this pandemic will at least be over for me personally.
For you,
because it was my second dosage.
I see.
I was like, and then they moved it for 10 days forward. I was like, they didn't cancel it, but they moved it.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me the date yet. And I was like, I jinxed myself so bad with
you
this
jinxed
one.
yourself.
I was like, oh, okay, I guess I won't get my vaccine for another 10 days.
And that kind of goes into it. Your COVID vaccine, you got the double dosage already. You got your second dose already. How do you feel?
Perfectly fine. Both times, perfect. The first time, I only got a sore shoulder, but that goes with every vaccine you get. And that lasted a day. The first few hours, it wasn't bad. And then it started hurting. You couldn't even move it up that much.
Yeah.
And then the second dosage, it hurt less. I was told by the person that gave me the vaccine, the second time, it'll probably hurt a lot more. You're going to have more effects. You're probably going to this and that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll be ready for it.
And which vaccine was this?
Pfizer.
The Pfizer.
Yeah.
I thought it was Pfizer.
Nah, it's Pfizer.
It's the Pfizer vaccine. So my grandmother, being that the way she got hers was she was at an appointment and they said, hey, we're going to give it to you right here, right now.
That's how it happened to me.
Really? I was going to ask if you, because people say that they get emails or whatever, or...
Well, technically, we heard that Tarrant County was having a waiting list. So I was like, okay, let me just put my mom down. It was early January. And I didn't really think we're going to accept it because it was so early in the vaccine distribution thing.
Oh, I see.
And 3 weeks later, I got I always check my emails. And 3 weeks later, it's like, okay, we have an appointment for you for your mom's vaccine. And I was like, oh, nice. So
and then
she's gonna get her first dosage. And I go in there, we wait. we wait for like 20 minutes, and then they could tell her to come into the room, and then they still had the vaccines in the freezer because the Pfizer vaccine, you have to have them like a negative 90 something degrees Celsius. And they were counting heads, and they accidentally counted my head. I think they thought that I was gonna get the vaccine too. And they were like, and before I even realized that, I told the woman that was attending me, "Hey, is it possible that I could get the vaccine?" as a joke, and it was like, "No, I don't think it's possible because you weren't on the waiting list or anything." I was like, "Oh, cool. I wasn't really expecting it, but my mom was gonna get it anyway."
You're right.
And then one of the people that come in to the room that were giving the vaccines for the room, they were like, "So 2 vaccines for this room, right?" And I was like, and then the nurse that was attending us was like, "No, only 1." And then she was like, "Why only 1? There's 2 here." And she was like, "Oh, it's because he wasn't on the waiting list." And then the nurse was like, "Why not? Why not give her the vaccine? It's already late at night. These vaccines are gonna be thrown away if we don't use them."
Wow.
So I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Are you serious? That I want?" Because I wanted the COVID vaccine. I've trusted the vaccine science for.
Yeah.
And I was psyched about it. I was like, "Hell yes! Let me just sign these consent forms." And I was like running towards like the waiting room where I was just signing documents.
So nothing's happened to you?
No.
Because I made a joke. I think another podcast. Shout out my boy Jacob. I did a podcast with him, and I no chill said a fucked up joke. And now thinking back, I'm like, holy shit, this is horrible. But we were saying, you know what? If not a lot of people have effects, we'll get it. Or if they pay, like, I saw a dodgy ad about Instagram saying we'll pay up to $1,000 for someone to take a dosage.
Yeah, I don't really trust those.
Yeah, I don't trust those either. But then my buddy was like, for $1,000, fuck it. What if it works? Then you can't get COVID. Then you get $1,000,
exactly.
Right? But I was like, fuck it. Give me the shit. I don't care if it gives me a club foot. I don't care if one side of me is Stephen Hawking, the other side is Michael J. Fox. Give me the vaccine. I said that and I was like, oh. Then when I like edited later on and made it a clip and put it on the Instagram, I was like, I said that. Oh shit.
That's a bit controversial to say the least.
But I mean, rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. Stay well, Michael J. Fox. You are a hero. Back to the Future was my shit. I still, to this day, I want a hoverboard. To this day, I still want power laces. This man has power laces. Whatever he's gone through, Michael J. Fox, you are amazing. So let me clear that up.
So no, the vaccine went better than expected. I thought I was gonna have like chills or fever or my headache
and just a sore shoulder.
And it wasn't even that bad. If I would say 1 to 10, it was like a 1 or a 2 the whole time.
Really?
So it's like, I'm free now. Like,
yeah.
And then the mask thing went down.
Oh yeah, that was actually last on the list. But since we're on it, fuck it, why not? So, Greg Abbott, our esteemed governor, has said that the mask mandate is now no longer in effect by March the 10th. All businesses can open at 100% yet again. What are your thoughts?
Personally, for me,
since you got the vaccine,
the 2 vaccines, it would be very easy for me to say open everything up at 100% without the mask. But I know there's other people in this world.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be selfish about it, but I don't think it was a smart issue to give it to the businesses to make those decisions or the cities. I think we should still. Well, states like Florida that never had the mask mandate. There's like a few states that never had it.
Oh.
But Texas is so big. It's like we're gonna be on the news for this.
We're gonna be on the news for not having
the
masks and whatever. And then Texas, man. Even though like I don't get out much personally, but like the amount of like partying I've seen in my little circle, in my little area, people get down. People are people that want to have fun. People
They're young,
here,
they want to do everything.
They want the young, wild, and free, and they want to say, "Fuck these masks." I am tired of this shit. Tired of smelling my own ass breath all day. If people wear glasses, like I'm tired of
the
fogging up my shit. I want to see again. I want to breathe the fresh air. There's some people like that. And, if you want to do it, do it. I don't. But like the fact that they made that decision, I feel they shouldn't have made that decision.
It was way too soon, in my opinion, because I don't think even 15% of Texas is vaccinated yet with their first dose. I think we're not even at 10% of the country where they have the second dose administered. So it's like, maybe if it was at 50%, I'll be like,
Maybe.
you could
The numbers got to be better.
like, obviously we're gonna have to go back to normal at some point, even if
Mm.
it's a different normal
Yeah.
from what we're used to. But like, for me, since I got my 2 doses, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's fine for me. But what about my dad who isn't vaccinated? What about my brothers who aren't vaccinated?
Yeah.
It's only me and my mom so far. So it's like, yeah, it wasn't the. I don't agree with the decision that the governor did with
Yeah.
masks.
I think I'm still going to wear my mask. And, if I do, because getting a vaccine is sounding way better now.
Yeah, it sounds way better, right?
Like, since I know people personally who've gotten it, right? But then you never know because, you hear stories and all these different things.
My neighbor had an allergic reaction. She thought she was going to die in the evening. But she ended up being fine the next morning.
Damn.
But she had chills everywhere. She had a headache. Like, it wasn't even bearable for her. But she's in her 60s, so maybe she was going to have a more severe reaction to it. Maybe. But it was Moderna. I got Pfizer.
Oh, that my grandmother actually got Moderna. That's why I wanted to ask you, because you got the Pfizer. She got the Moderna. But she's in her 70s, I believe.
And she had...
I feel fucked up not knowing for sure, but I want to keep the conversation going. Yeah. But so she is around the same age as your mother, and she
not
had
my mother, but like my neighbor.
Oh, your neighbor.
Yeah.
I see. And she didn't have no symptoms. Like your symptoms matched up with her symptoms of just what the vaccine was like. Just a sore shoulder. Second time around, did not a thing.
Did it go better the first time or the second time for her?
I think it was the second time she said that it was better.
For the second time, it was better for me, and they told me it was going to be worse. So, I don't know. I find that extremely interesting.
Yeah, like, nobody knows for sure. You're just, here you go.
I think it goes with any vaccine. And this vaccine is different from any other vaccine. It's not a dead virus.
Yeah.
It's an RNA strand thing. It's like the first of its kind. And I don't even believe it was rushed. Like, people say it's rushed because it took, like, a year of development. Even less than a year of development.
Less than a year, because technically the pandemic started back in March.
Yeah. So I was like, but the reason why vaccines take so long is because of funding, approval. Money is always limited with vaccines. But with with the COVID vaccine, they had unlimited funding. They got approval way faster, but
they're like
same precautions.
Yeah.
Same testing. They just got approval faster. They were prioritized.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that the COVID vaccine is safe. Well, I'm saying my opinion here.
Yeah. That's all good. That's all good.
The COVID vaccine is safe. Personally, if you have the chance to sign your parents up, please.
Yeah.
Or your grandparents. It's easy. Tarrant County makes it so easy. You get your emails that just look out for your emails when you're gonna get your appointment. It's so much easier than many other counties. I know a person I know people from other states that are struggling now.
Struggling to get that.
And Tarrant County is doing an amazing job, in my opinion.
And I try to watch the news and keep up with Tarrant County and all that stuff. And even in the news, they advised, hey, don't try to wait weeks just to get the Moderna. Go ahead and get any vaccine
it's better than the one dose
that they're going to assign to you. I mean, they were even saying get Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, get
Johnson. But I think they're focusing that on the prison population and homeless people. That's what I heard with Johnson & Johnson.
Really?
Because it's only one dose.
It's one dosage. They say it's 70%.
Yeah, 70%, which is not as good as the Pfizer Moderna with 2 doses. But
which is like 90. Yeah. Because they said this on the news earlier. They said that the point is to reduce hospitalizations or complications in general.
The main thing of this pandemic is reduce hospital.
Yeah.
Like, don't overwhelm the hospitals. That's the main issue with
this pandemic. In Tarrant County, our hospitals have been overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've had that, but we were still able to get vaccines flowing, pretty crazy.
It surprised me because I signed up my mom early January, and I was like, I don't think we're going to get this vaccine until like March or April.
Yeah. And
I even joked about around my parents with this. I was like, I don't have a job. I'm healthy. I'm 18. I'm their last priority. I'm probably going to get this vaccine last. I'm probably going to be last in line. And I ended up, ironically, being the first in line in my family.
Wow.
Which, I don't know, it feels selfish in a way, but I didn't have control over it. And come on, if you had the chance to vaccinate yourself.
That sounds like a weird movie, a COVID movie scenario. Yeah. Like, how did you get the vaccine? I didn't expect you to get it. Yeah. Hey, can I get it?
Yeah.
No. Why 2 people?
Yeah.
fuck it, we're gonna throw this shit away. Give it to him.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got the Pfizer, bro.
And
Straight
then,
out the fridge, minus 90 degrees.
yeah. And then my dad came back from work and he was like, "How did your mom go with the vaccine?" And I was like, I just pulled up this. I was like, "Oh, you got your vaccine too? Are you serious?
That's fucking hilarious.
You got your vaccine too?" I was like, "Yeah, I got my vaccine too." I was like, "Bro." My dad obviously said it in Spanish, but I was like, "I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you."
That's what's up.
Less worry, bro. Less worry.
Yeah, let's worry, man. You can go into a Walmart with no mask. Can you
Well,
believe that?
And Wednesday, but Walmart has said, I think Walmart said publicly that they're gonna keep the mask mandate
Keep
for
the
their
mask.
stores
Well,
because
I mean-
businesses could still make their own decisions.
Would you still wear your mask though?
The science of the vaccine is controversial because, like, they say it avoids you spreading it onto others. So I was like, if I had the chance to not wear a mask with my 2 doses, I would do it. But at the same time, it's like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Like, obviously. What were you gonna say?
It's better to be safe.
It's better to be.
I don't have to wear it anymore. I got my 2 doses, but I don't want to infect my dad, my brothers, or probably my neighbors, which are older of age.
Mhm.
You don't want to be responsible for something happening to them.
Exactly, and we don't know for sure
Yeah.
if you're not contagious.
Yeah,
Like
that's the iffy part. Is like, are you contagious still? And I personally say it helps more, but you're not 100% free of giving it to others. Like, for example, if I shake your hand, and
are you gonna get it just because I got both doses? Are you gonna get it now?
yeah, that's the iffy science about the vaccine because it's also new.
Yeah, and then I don't know. You are right when you did say that we may never go back to normal, but now we have to make a new normal.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe we will go back to normal, but I think the system that changed a lot was the school system.
Oh, for sure.
Because online is going to be big now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I think homeschooling will be a lot bigger now.
I mean, I managed to homeschool my little nephew. He's a first grader, and I've managed to homeschool him since October. And back in his first semester, we had a teacher that arguably she had a lot to fulfill because she was doing physical and virtual classes at the same time. But now we got a teacher who's more hands-on and I think is only doing virtual learning. Mm-hmm. So we've had a bumpy way of it, but we've made it work. We've made it work. I don't know if they're gonna learn the same though.
Do you think that the school district, the FWISD school district, will offer online learning from now on after this pandemic? Because there's not been news about it, but like that could be a new possibility now, new option.
I want to say,
or do you think it'll be more of a mix now?
I think it'll be more of a mix now because what I think the school may want, and like I kind of have a personal vendetta against our former school.
Yeah.
That's just me being petty, but like what I think a school always wants is they want to make their money by attendance, and that's having students in the school. Yeah. And it can't be. It was already bad enough when you worried about absent people. Yeah. It's already bad enough when you have to worry about absent people online. Yeah. Or like people not doing their stuff online.
And people aren't really learning the correct way. Well, I don't even think public schools are doing it the correct way, but like it's worse because you could just shut down your computer and be like, "Oh,
I don't want to do it."
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. And no one is going to push you to do it because like you're home, you're probably hiding the things from your parents now.
And motivation goes out the window. And like when you're on this constant loop. Yeah. That's why like people get like pandemic exhaustion. Yeah. And these are actual real things, man. Pandemic exhaustion. I think it's really just horrible case of cabin fever. Yeah. You're in too long. And then
that's what affected me the first few months of the pandemic. Is like you're mentally drained all the time because you're not talking to people besides your family. It's rough.
Yeah. I think I kept myself busy because I worked from March to May. And, I try to do the whole podcast thing and YouTube thing. And, I try to keep myself busy. So I don't think I got really of a burnout. But I think I definitely got a burnout during my quarantine. Being here for 10 fucking days, only in this room. Oh.
I would say I'm introverted. But even this long of social, like without social interactions, it was like it it was rough.
Like, there's a difference. There's a really fine line between solitude and isolation.
Yeah, it was pretty much almost isolation.
Yeah.
The first few months, when everyone was like, "Okay, don't even get close to anyone. Don't even get close to me." Well, because with the COVID pandemic, I thought it was gonna be like an Ebola thing a few years ago, where it's like, "Okay, we're gonna contain it. Few cases, we're gonna contain it." But it obviously didn't go that way. And here's the funny thing: I remember a teacher. The last day I was in high school, it was my math teacher. Said, "We're gonna. I doubt we're gonna close. It's only gonna last an extra week probably." And I even doubt that. So see y'all after spring break. We never saw.
That's fucking hilarious. Hey, I'll see y'all later.
And we never get to see him. It's funny because everyone was. I remember when the first COVID case got here, but it was a fake one. But I remember everyone on Snapchat freaked out. I was like, "Don't go to JPS." It was the fake one was in JPS, and everyone was like, "Don't go to JPS because they have COVID coronavirus, the first COVID case in Tarrant." And I was like, "Okay," and it was later confirmed to be fake. I remember seeing it on Snap in my science class. I was like, "Oh, okay."
The only one that I saw that was a rumor was the Jack in a Box over here on Jacksboro.
Oh yeah.
They said that one had
Walmart?
COVID. Yeah.
Did they? And no one even went there, right?
Yeah. Nobody used to go. Like, it was posted everywhere, like on Facebook and different
Don't
shit.
go there.
Don't go there. And now to this day, like my buddy, like, she's like my little sister, and what do you call it? She sent me a funny video about not getting buttermilk, and they specifically asked for extra. And then they want to upcharge you, like it's like $2 for 4 or $1 for 4 or something like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just fucking give me buttermilk. And then I was like if I was ever in that situation where they try to upcharge me, I'm like, man, give me my motherfucking food. Y'all got COVID here anyway. I'm probably put hand sanitizer all over my food.
Do you think you've ever had COVID? Oh wait, you already had COVID.
Yeah.
I was about to ask because I always ask people. Do you think you've had COVID, like physical COVID, in your hands?
In my hands, like
Probably.
probably.
But you've had COVID, so it's like 100%.
No,
You had COVID.
actually, I have had COVID in my hands.
Yeah.
Technically,
because you were here with COVID.
Because no, for sure I had it in my hands because the night that COVID like kind of struck home was my dad. He was sick for like 2 weeks, and he now like he's fine and everything. Like the last podcast, like I haven't watched it back yet, but they say on the last one we had, he was saying like I kicked the COVID's ass. COVID didn't do shit to me. Oh, this, and that's how he feels. He's like, he didn't do shit to me. I survived. It's nothing to me now. I survived. You know what I mean? So.
Even if you survive, the antibodies only last for a few months.
Yeah, like my antibodies technically stopped in January February, but really you got to think, does it really stay there? So yeah. I was thinking January, right?
Even with the vaccine, that's iffy because like you don't know how long you'll need to have the vaccine. We don't know if we have to have it again. Maybe you'll have to have it every 5 years, every year, or every 10 years. Maybe COVID will be here forever, but we're just gonna have to vaccinate each other.
Vaccinate and just be safer.
Maybe it'll be like the common cold.
Maybe
one day.
Like, hey, you got COVID? Yeah, give him some medicine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, like herd immunity.
Yeah,
like,
but I had it in my hands because we finally took my dad to the hospital. We thought he was constipated or something. Like we thought, hey, they're gonna give him something to drink. He's gonna shit it all out. He's gonna come home and he's gonna be okay. He came back and here was the thing. I drove. And I parked in the parking lot, and I walked up, and he was coming right out. And at the same time, there was this homeless dude. At the side of the hospital. And he's like, are you going in for COVID? Better be sure you're really sick.
Where was this?
Petri dish. He said something about a petri dish or something. I don't know. And this was at our ER downtown, at the ER.
There's crazy people.
Yeah, right. And I walked out. I walked up to my dad. My dad walked out, and he's like, I got the COVID. I was like, wait, what? I got the COVID.
Oh, and then you're like, please don't get close to me.
Don't get close to me. I rode in the back seat with him.
Did y'all have your mask in that car? Or?
I put my mask on, but he gave me his mask that he wore. No. He left the mask in the car.
Okay.
And
Please.
threw that shit away. So I literally had COVID in my hands, but I was like, I got inside, didn't touch shit with this hand.
Wash your.
I washed my hands. I put that hand sanitizer all over my arms and shit.
Yeah, when we thought COVID was in my home, I had double mask. Every time I got near my dad had a mask and I had double mask.
You had the double mask?
And then I was like, okay, hand sanitizer. Everywhere I touched, I probably washed my hands like 40 times that day.
Probably.
Because I had to eat still inside and I was like, COVID could be anywhere here.
Anywhere. Yeah. And that's the scary part too. I'm thinking, am I, like, every day I was eating, I was like, am I eating COVID?
Am I eating COVID?
Am
Yeah,
I
that's
eating-
what I thought.
am I drinking it every time I go for a piss? I'm pissing out COVID. Damn. What if like a pipe breaks and a poor animal sort of drinks my piss by accident or drinks the water and they get COVID?
I don't think animals could get COVID.
There's a kids video that I was watching this week and it was for the virtual learning and it was saying how it was like a Japanese cartoon about COVID-19 explaining, and it said that animals got it first. And it was it was alluding to the bats. The video was literally alluding to
Well, we don't even know where COVID came from.
Yeah.
They think it's a bat from.
I've heard a conspiracy saying it came from a lab.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah,
maybe it even came from. We can't trust China. They hid it. They hid it from us for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
they suppressed it from their news.
That's true, but then again, when don't they kind of suppress something?
Mm-hmm.
So that's iffy because aren't they like a communist country?
Yeah, they should. Well, my opinion is they should be accountable for. We did a poor handling on it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It could have been like Ebola, where like, oh, we know immediately.
We know where it is. Let's contain it right now.
But they suppressed it.
Like, instead of acting as a country, we act as a world.
Yeah, it's like a world for once. I remember when the COVID pandemic started, I was like, for once, we are united against this virus. And no, we're not united anymore over this virus. People think, oh, mask off, mask on. It turned very political.
Yeah.
But I remember the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was together for like, okay, let's defeat this virus. Let's stay inside. Let's wear our masks.
Yeah, let's do everything.
And then it kind of got divided by the end.
Yeah, it did. There are people like, I don't give a fuck about this COVID.
But you know what? I think this could be a good learning experience. It could have been a way worse disease,
For
like
sure.
Ebola or like somewhere of the Black Death. Like, if we were gonna have a trial run on a failed pandemic, I'm kind of glad it was COVID over anything.
Imagine being alive during the bubonic plague.
Exactly. So it's like, if we were gonna fail at a pandemic, I'm glad it was COVID. I'm glad. I wish it never happened, but at least it wasn't something way more lethal.
Yeah.
So at least we know what not to do and what to do. We have better science over vaccines now.
For sure.
So I don't know. Maybe there were some positive things.
Oh yeah, like a lot of positive things got to come out of this.
Yeah.
Like we learned how to do shit at home.
Yeah.
We learned how to do other things, and we learned how to be safe and consider the other person.
Yeah.
For once.
Some people still refuse.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, that's their choice.
Yeah.
Y'all do you. Me, like I if you're a friend of mine and you decide to do whatever, go ahead, be safe, because you're my friend and whatnot.
But that's your opinion over.
Yeah. Like I'm still gonna wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like until this motherfucker is gone, or even if it's not gone, I'm gonna consider other people.
Yeah.
And you never know. Maybe one day where people lay off masks and I'm still wearing a mask, maybe I'll decide to take my mask off. People change. Yeah, so.
And that's what's frustrating about this. Like a lot of people criticize the mask as oh, why in the beginning of the pandemic we were told not to wear masks? And it's like the science changes.
Yeah.
We learn new things. Please, we're not gonna strictly go by this rule. Things could change. And have you heard that in Houston, every COVID strand was spotted there?
Really? Every single one?
Yeah, every single new COVID strand was spotted in Houston.
So, UK, South American.
Yeah, every single one of them was spotted in Houston, Texas.
Oh my God.
That was on the news 2 days ago. I was like, oh.
Oh, shit. What the? Houston, what's going on? Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we literally have a problem here.
That's fucked up. Oh, That's crazy though. And then you're thinking, well, where else does it hit? Because Houston is one of the bigger parts of Texas.
I think it's the biggest city actually.
So, like, well, I was talking like name wise. Like,
Oh yeah, Houston. Everyone knows Houston in the United States.
What about San Antonio?
San Antonio is not talked about much.
What about Dallas? Austin. Like, what about those places?
Fort Worth. Well, everyone thinks Fort Worth is pretty much Dallas, which is not.
Which it is not. It's not Dallas.
Different. If you go to Dallas, it's very different.
Very
from Fort
different.
Worth.
Like Siri will have a heart attack trying to guide you somewhere.
Yeah,
literally.
And then, like, we're separated with Arlington. Like it's a half-mile drive to Dallas. It's not like we're connected.
Yeah, that's the halfway point. Yeah. Six Flags. Six Flags. Just say Six Flags is the halfway point.
Yeah, just say Six Flags is the halfway point.
Yeah, I haven't been to Six Flags in forever. I want to go again.
I've never been to Six Flags.
For real?
Because I'm afraid of heights.
I used to be afraid of heights too, but the thing that got me over that was I like views.
No, that's scary.
You don't like views either?
No. Well, like, not in a roller coaster ride or anything or those things. No, that's too high for me.
I just like, personally, I just like the views, and then also I curse a lot, so I like screaming obscenities, and then my excuse will be, I was scared. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think anyone will say anything about him, so.
Yeah, like they didn't say one, like, a funny story. We took this dude on the Riddler once. It was me and my buddy Ray. We took him on. And it was one of those pendulum type ones where it swings all the way up, swings all the way down.
Oh yeah, I know.
You're you're at a 90-degree angle, going to probably a 45-degree angle, and oh my god,
I could ride those, but that's scary.
That's scary, and we're spinning.
And then you feel weird. Like,
you feel weird, and like all you hear is, "Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Oh my god!" He closes his eyes as we're going up, and when we're almost all the way up, I'm like, "Open your eyes! It's over!" I did that to him, and I felt bad, but at the same time, it's funny, bro. It's funny. Like, I want to go back because, and like, fuck it, I'll wear a mask at Six Flags. Yeah. I will buy a Six Flags mask. Just give me a black mask that has Six Flags or Six Flags across my lips, and I'll shut up and take my money.
I don't know. I've gone out more with this pandemic. I feel guilty saying that.
Wait, what?
I've gone more with this pandemic. I feel guilty saying that, but
I see.
I wear my mask. I have my hand sanitizer. I'm very precautious.
Where do you go?
I've gone to Mexico 3 times in this pandemic.
God damn.
But it's safer in Mexico because supposedly there's less COVID cases. I take my precautions and everything, but like, and the first time I went to Mexico was literally the beginning of the pandemic.
The beginning, and you've gone 2 times more.
Yeah.
Dang.
During the summer, I stayed like a whole month, 34 days.
And how was that over there with COVID?
It's a small town. That's why I don't worry about Mexico. It's like a small town. They didn't get COVID till way later than any other city.
I see.
And like, there's not much tourism there right now. So it's like it's probably safer than here, honestly.
For sure, I've gone out way less because I used to go to movie theaters all the time. Can't go to those no more. I like to go to buffets. Can't do that shit no more.
No, I don't go to restaurants anymore. That's like because it's very easy to get COVID in a restaurant.
Yeah,
they're literally making your food. No. If it's an open area, I'll go. I try to go in open areas. I still have my mask on.
Yeah. I mean, I mess with buffets a little bit, but they serve it to you.
Yeah, they serve it to you now.
Like, there was a buffet in Irving that their protocol is have your mask around the food bars, but you also get a pair of gloves. Everybody gets a pair of gloves. Pair of gloves. Everybody. Okay. Workers, customers, everyone.
Do they provide them for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They're like clear little gloves that you find in like the
cheap ones or like
like the cheap ones like you find in like hair dye boxes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's literally what they are. They got like whole boxes of those.
Or like where they provide the meat at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones.
So that's it pretty much. Like, you serve yourself, you take off the gloves and your mask at your table. And that's it. And I've been there twice, and they still got a good selection. Buffets, they've kind of cut their selection, for obvious reasons. But they got a good selection, and I'm able to serve myself. Yeah. So I'm happy. The only place I don't like that COVID kind of took away was this ramen place called by the name of Oni Ramen.
Uh-huh.
They closed down. And I don't.
Permanently?
I think so, but with this whole Greg Abbott bullshit, maybe they'll reopen. That's the only good thing I see.
Maybe it was a financial thing. I don't think they're gonna recover.
But they were always a small place, and they were on 7th Street, so they're gonna get business regardless. Like the one time I went,
they probably just closed down.
yeah, like the one time I went there was a Saturday, and it was like in December before COVID, and man, they had business. Like they had business at 1 in the morning when we got there, when we were sitting there eating. At 2 in the morning, it boomed because all the college people, everybody drinking on 7th Street, and it was mostly Asians coming, which I thought was cool because I don't see a lot of Asians around here.
I think I rarely.
So the fact that I got to see people I've never seen before on 7th Street, and then I was eating the spiciest ramen on the menu. Mm-hmm. It was a fucking fun night.
I can't handle spice to save my life. I could barely handle Valentina to save my life.
That night was, well, I'll tell you a story on how that night ended up happening, but then I'll tell you how it ended. Okay. I can't deal with that kind of spice either, because that night started, I was texting one of my best friends, and she was talking about how shitty work was, yada yada. I said, you know what, fuck it, come over, and it's like 11 o'clock midnight, and we're just friends like that. We never dated or anything like that. We're just cool. And we ended up going to this place by the name of Hertz Donuts. She was like, yeah, let's go over here. Why not? Let's go. And we waited in line at like 11 and 12 o'clock at night. We're like, what's there to do? Everybody's drinking. Everybody's chilling. Let's see what we do. And then when we're driving up to Hertz and we're like trying to find parking, yada, yada, we see Oni Ramen. And we're like, fuck it. Late night dinner. Let's do it. And did that. We ate donuts first. We did that first.
Late at night?
Yeah. Like 11, 12 o'clock at night. We were sitting on little swings. Everybody was still together pre-COVID. And we ate some donuts. And then we're like, fuck it, let's just go to Oni Ramen. And we went at 1 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock, business boomed. I got the spiciest ramen on the menu. And the guy recommended it to me too. He was like, it's smacked. You can go ahead, but just remember, no refunds. So, obviously. Try to eat the meat. The meat was the spiciest thing in there. It was like red. And then trying to drink the juice. I was like, bro, I can't take no more. I had water. I ate all the ice. My cup was empty. And then there was only 2 to 3 servers, the poor staff, and then business boomed. So they couldn't get me more water. And I was like, I'm done.
Was it where like you give tips out? Where you give tips for a service?
I gave him a tip.
Okay.
I gave him a tip, but I was like, man, my fucking mouth is on fire. But then again, I did this to myself, so I can't be mad at you.
Yeah.
But then we go to the parking lot, get in the car. I fucking water throw up, and it felt like I was breathing fire because I was like, hi. It was that spicy, and it burned
your whole
my chest. It burned my throat, burned my mouth. Like, I'm pretty sure the concrete was sizzling with my puke. Like, god damn. But yeah, I can't handle. I learned from that day I can't handle that spice.
No, I can't even handle the slightest. You give me a bag of hot Cheetos, and I'll be asking for water after the 10th Cheeto.
I had some turbos earlier, and I started sweating. And I was like, bro, this is just the bottom of the bag. Like, but then again, the bottom of the bag is always the hottest because all the dust and all the crumbs are there. And then your hand gets all like all dusty. And I was like, bro, what is happening? I'm weak. But then again, like with age, spice does become a thing. You start getting heartburn. You start burning everywhere.
But you're relatively young.
Yeah,
I'd say that shouldn't be an issue yet.
Like heartburn is an issue. It's just too fucking hot, and it makes my stomach and my ass burn. That's it. Yeah. Like spicy food, man. Takis, like that's one thing I ate during the snowstorm. Like the one thing that was untouched, I went to Quick Trip. Oh my god. Look at the TV. Never mind. I just saw some. Oh, hello. Anyway.
The one heading to Lake Worth?
Yeah. No. The QT that's near the Jack in the Box. The Jack in the Box that we talked about.
River Oaks, right?
Yeah. And mostly, it looked like a Twister went through that place. Like most of the chips and everything, all the snacks were gone. The one chip that was untouched, Takis. So I was like, that's surprising. Well, shit, might as well eat some hot things in this cold weather.
I never went to a store during the winter storms. Were the stores really that empty?
Yes. This was at when the snow melted and I was able to drive because I own a Nissan, And front wheel drive, man. I'm
Oh,
gonna get
that's
stuck.
hell.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
stuck in a snowstorm. I'm
I
gonna get
didn't even
stuck.
drive because it's back wheel drive, but you need a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how I traveled. Thank God for Jeeps.
Yeah,
Thank God for Jeeps.
Jeep.
So that's how I got around from place to place. But then when the snow finally melted, I gassed up. No, I didn't gas up actually. I gassed up the next day because I decided, oh, I have the late night munchies. I'm gonna go to QT. Why the hell not?
What time
And
was it?
like 1 a.m.
I did the same shit. Don't worry.
Yeah, so nothing was there. Not even like sub sandwiches and shit. And not
Subway.
like sub sandwiches.
Oh,
You
I
know,
thought you
like
meant Subway. I was like,
no,
I don't think there's a Subway.
yeah, no sub sandwiches, no nothing. I found like a chicken sandwich or a rib sandwich, like microwavable, and I was like, man, what are the fucking chips? No Lay's, no good stuff. And then I see Takis, and I'm like,
I think the good thing
Fuck
with
it.
the winter storm is it wasn't ice. It was snow.
it was snow.
So you had somewhat grip. You had some grip.
Yeah, you had some grip, but damn. But then the thing that was more dangerous was the black ice patches.
I didn't encounter any of them, fortunately.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
But damn, so late night munchies, that was me. That was me. And goddamn.
Oh, the winter storm was.
The winter
crazy.
storm was crazy. The winter storm
And
was
did you hear
crazy.
that we broke a record of going below 32, below freezing?
Yeah.
Like it was 205 hours, and the previous record was like 150
Mm.
something hours in the 80s.
Yeah.
I was like, that's insane.
That is insane. So, are you into the MCU in any way, shape, or form?
No, I don't watch. I don't follow the Marvel or
Oh.
the DC universe.
I
much.
see. Because I had WandaVision down, but neither one of us have seen it.
Yeah, none of us.
Like they're saying there's a lot of hype behind it, but I'm not getting on the hype train. It's
Yeah.
not like Mandalorian. I got on the Mandalorian hype train pretty easily.
I don't follow the Marvel universe so much. I haven't even watched Endgame or the what's the other one? The
Infinity War. You
I
haven't
haven't
even
seen
seen
it.
that one?
I've seen the memes over it. Obviously, it was everywhere, but I remember the hype. Everyone went the day it premiered, or not the day it premiered, but the day after, and I haven't watched it yet.
Damn.
So I'm that behind.
Like, do you have Disney Plus?
I don't even have Netflix. I don't watch that many movies.
Really? Wow.
Like a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you want to watch Netflix?" I was like, "I don't even have Netflix. I'm sorry."
Dang. Like, it's worth the subscription. Like, the thing I do monthly is a good selection for you would be the package I got for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, and it's only $8.99 a month.
I do cable.
Oh, I see. I do
But,
cable
I
too.
do cable, but like, how much is it?
It's $8.99 a month, and it's the full package. It's ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus. So you got Disney Plus, all these new shows, all these
Yeah.
movies. You got a plethora of movies. You got Hulu, which, Hulu's good. It's got plenty of good shows. Like right now, I'm watching 50 Cent shows made by 50 Cent. Like I'm watching Power and Power Book 2, Ghost. Very good fucking shows. And his 50 Cent's ABC show, For Life, about a lawyer in prison. Very good shows on Hulu. And then ESPN. Every fight night is free for you.
So for only $8.99 for all those three things and
Like the UFC fight nights, they're free, obviously. But
because you're already
but the pay-per-views, they're still pay-per-views.
Oh, you still have to pay for that.
Yeah, you still have to pay for those.
Okay.
But like you get to watch, anything on the ESPN library. Like for instance, they got it on Netflix, but they got The Last Dance. I'm pretty sure you heard of that, right?
No.
The Last Dance is about the Bulls, Chicago Bulls. Michael
Oh, yeah,
Jordan.
yeah.
So
I have
they
heard
got
of it,
they
but
got
I
a lot of
haven't-
ESPN thing. I'm pretty sure they got stuff on there about Conor McGregor and all this other stuff. So for $8.99 a month, why the hell not? And the way I do it is I split it. I split Netflix and that package. So for me, it's like $14 a month. I just pay who pays the bill. That's it.
That's cheap as fuck.
Yeah. And so if anybody comes over or whatever, we got a lot of shit to watch. What do you want to watch? You know what I mean? So no WandaVision or anything like that. But Spider-Man 3, I'm like you say you're into memes and whatever. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, do you think it's going to happen? Well, it's going to happen. Christmas.
Yeah.
But do you think this whole like rumors about Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield?
Wasn't it the movie where like they said every Spider-Man was going to be in it, or was that another rumor?
That's the rumor I'm talking about. That every
Person that played Spider-Man.
was gonna be in it.
So what's your question?
I'm asking, do you think that's somewhat true? Because they They have a new Spider-Man movie called No Way Home coming out this Christmas. Do you
Okay.
think there may be something like that happening or no?
With 2020 and 2021, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened.
And that's on the eve of 2022.
That's not on the 2021 has been crazy too.
It's already been crazy, but it's slightly better than 2020.
It's a weird crazy.
It's
not a bad crazy. It's like, well,
Yeah.
some people like, I don't know. 2021 has been great.
2021 has been a roller coaster.
It's been a roller. It's felt so long and so short at the same time.
Yeah. My birthday's only in April, and I only start really counting the year going by until summer. So we still got a long ways. Till June.
I've been counting the year since last year.
Yeah.
Well, everyone wanted 2020 to be over, so I was like, please, 2021, at least be nicer to us this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what have we got? We've gotten the vaccine, like people surrounding the vaccine be like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be good? We got ice storms, winter storms out of nowhere. We got, schools and everything being online. And
I still find it crazy how winter storm broke Texas.
it did. It kept more people inside than COVID ever
That's
could.
what I saw me over there. It was like, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you keep people inside.
That's how you're able to keep
Texans,
people
at least.
inside. Yeah. And then going in, switching gears now. You said you wanted to talk about more concerts and events. So what's up with that? What concerts and events have you been to?
I usually mainly go to rock and metal concerts. No, before COVID hit, I haven't gone to a concert before.
Like mosh pit type shit.
The classic bands. Because
Oh.
a lot of the audiences are older now with the 80s and 90s, so
Mhm.
there isn't really any mosh pits anymore.
Everybody's just jamming on.
Everyone is like in their 50s or in their 40s.
I see.
There's some 30s, there's some 20s. You see them?
Wait, do you know Weezer?
No.
Oh,
No. Here's the bands I've seen.
let me see.
AC/DC.
AC/DC, fuck yeah. I was
Yeah.
smart playing that shit.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
that's why I got hyped over it. I was
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, AC/DC.
Hell yeah.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. Ooh.
Twice. I went all the way to Oklahoma to see Guns N' Roses for a second.
Damn.
I skipped school for a day to go to see Guns N' Roses.
Fuck it.
It's because my dad loves rock and metal. That's how I got into it.
Oh.
So he's like, hey, you want to skip school?
you want to skip school? You want to go
like-
see Guns N'
I
Roses?
was like, hell yeah, I'll go see Guns N' Roses. And then I've seen Metallica twice.
Metallica.
I went all the way to Lubbock. You know where Lubbock is, right?
Lubbock, Texas, yeah.
Yeah. I traveled 5 hours just to see a Metallica concert, and we didn't even have the tickets ready. Funny story about that. When we went to see Metallica, we didn't even have tickets or the hotel ready. And when we went to the front, my dad asked, because there's usually extra tickets, so
Yeah.
like, we just kind of assumed, well, okay, there'll be tickets, but we didn't realize that the concert was only gonna have 15,000 people, and Metallica usually fills 50,000 people stadiums or 40,000 people stadiums.
Oh.
And they were like, oh, we don't have tickets. I was like, did we go to Lubbock and travel 5 hours for nothing? And then we tried to find a solution. I was like, okay, does anyone here sell tickets? Because when you go to events, there's people outside usually trying to sell you tickets. And not even that. There wasn't anyone.
Oh.
So
fuck.
I went to every website, people selling locally. And I found someone in Craigslist. And I was like, are you selling tickets? And I was like, yeah, but it's going to be all the way in the top. You're not going to see, how many, and people are offering them to me.
Mm.
Someone was offering $300 for a ticket, and my dad was like, fuck it, $500 for a ticket to see Metallica for both of us. And then the person came into the concert, was about to sell us the tickets, and then the front said, hey, we just opened new tickets. And we got to see Metallica, like, 15 feet from us for $120.
Oh!
So not only did we get way better
shit.
seats, but we got to see closer for a way cheaper price.
What the dude say? He lost out on $500.
And he was able to sell them later outside to someone else. I was like, oh, okay, at least
All right.
we didn't waste his time.
We didn't waste his time. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just found his another. But damn, $120 just
Yeah.
for a good ass seat.
Yeah, it was a good ass seat. And do you know the song "Nothing Else Matters"?
Nothing else, man. No.
No.
How does it? By who?
Metallica, obviously.
Metallica. All right. Well,
And then
explain.
the lead singer James Hetfield. Do you know who James Hetfield is?
No.
No,
I
well,
know who Metallica is, but I never really got into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, he was like playing the whole song. That's my dad's favorite song. That's how he got into it. And he was just playing it like, because there was 4 sides to the stage. It was
Mhm.
like, they were center.
Oh, it's
They were
one
like
of those.
really in the front. They were center. And the lead singer just stayed there throughout the whole song. And he was
Damn.
like playing his guitar. I was like, oh shit, that's badass.
That's badass. Hell
Like
yeah.
what a coincidence that he got in front of us. And I think he noticed me. I think he pointed at me.
And then, like, with a specific set of circumstances happening.
It was like, we got tickets. It was so draining that day because we were scared that we had to go all the way to Fort Worth for nothing, for just to travel to Lubbock. And that was actually the first time I left the DFW area.
Damn.
And it was like in early 2019.
That's some shit.
So it's like, it's a badass way to leave DFW. So we stayed there. It was fun as fuck. And then my dad was tired. He had to wake up like 5 a.m. for work, and he left work later on that day.
Damn.
And then his eyes were red because he was tired. He only slept like 4 hours that night. And then the hotel that we booked was like an hour away from Lubbock. And so yeah, and it was foggy and it was night, so it was hard to see. So you had to full concentration, full energy on driving, and I thought we were gonna crash.
Oh my god. Oh.
But it was a fun experience. I've also seen the lead singer of Pink Floyd once.
Pink Floyd.
Iron Maiden. Have you heard of Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden. I've heard of them.
I've seen. Oh, and the AC/DC concert. The lead singer. It was his second to last concert after 30 plus years.
Damn.
So I was like, we got lucky.
We got lucky.
And then someone offered front row tickets for us. Not front row, but like floor tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you want these floor tickets? I was like, sure. But we only had 2, and there was 3 people going.
Damn.
So someone was complaining. He was stupid. So we just had to go all the way in the second thing. But the song that they played that we were able to stay for 5 minutes for, it was the TNT song, like TNT. So I was like, okay, at least I got to see one of the very few songs I knew. And I was like 13 at the time. So I was like, I didn't really have a music taste, but I knew that song.
Yeah. So
I was like, hell yeah, we got to see it.
Like, my first concert, I mentioned it a couple podcasts ago, was Weezer. And it was featuring the Pixies and the Wombats. Uh-huh. And the one song that got me into Weezer, and Weezer didn't even make the song.
Was it a cover song?
It was a cover song. Africa, Toto.
I know that song.
They did that, and like I literally got put onto their music at the concert. Like it was a crazy story because
that's how half my concerts are. I get to the music by just listening to it.
Yeah, and most of the crowd was older, and like I was probably one of the youngest there. Like literally, I got offered a fucking joint by a couple. They're like, "You look old enough. You got a beard and everything." Like,
Were you like 16?
I was like, that was a junior, or I think that was sophomore year for me.
Or so you're 15 or 16?
Yeah, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there. So me looking older, like nobody thought twice. So
and I imagine they were high, so I was like, they're a bit delirious.
Everybody was just fucking jamming out.
How many concerts have you gone to?
I've only gone to 2, and the second one was the Childish Gambino concert. This is America.
That's so badass.
Right there. This is America tour. But here's the fucked up part about that one. We were already, like, I've told this story time and time again, but the 2 crazy parts about this story was a month earlier, my brother was hospitalized due to heart failure.
Okay.
And so he recovered, and he was able to go. But he had this vest on, and we had this weird fucking suspicion that someone was gonna think it was a bomb, because it was a vest just in case.
Why do they have a vest? Oh,
I think it was a defib unit.
Oh, okay.
So it was like we're all thinking, man, they're gonna touch him. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is that shit? Why'd you bring a bomb?
I assume they check up front, right? Like they check out the.
No, that was the crazy thing. We're all thinking, oh shit is gonna go down. Fuck, it was crazy enough getting here. And then we get over there, and the whole line is going through one door out of the whole center, the American Airlines Center.
Oh,
and
it was in Dallas, right?
Yeah. And then one guy starts yelling, "Why are you making us go through one door?" Security guard straight up yelled, "Y'all don't want to be in sheep. Y'all don't want to go through one door. All the other doors are open. Stupid." So we're like, "Oh my god, these people are mean. They're gonna get our ass, bro."
Did it smell like weed at both concerts?
Because that's what at the Weezer concert, yes. The Childish one, no.
Because every concert I've been to, it smells like weed the whole
time. Straight up, man. And we ended up predicting history because we got a security guard that was like, "Oh, baby, you're fine, go." And we went, and then we had a good seat. Like we weren't close, but we had like a not floor seat, but we were the one level above, so we had a good view of it, which was I'd rather take a good view than like being, too close and having to look over somebody's shoulder.
Yeah.
So fucking did that, but we missed 4 songs. We missed Redbone.
In the beginning, right?
No. At the end, we missed his whole encore. His whole encore, because he ended his set with "This Is America."
Oh, obviously.
Right.
That's the pick.
But his encore had "Sober." I'm not sure if you heard the song. "Sweatpants," 3005, which are some of his best songs,
Yeah.
and then everybody knows "Redbone,"
Yeah.
and that's what he ends the show with. But he broke his foot mid-performance.
Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino broke his foot mid-performance at the Dallas concert,
How
and
did that even happen?
I have no idea. Like, probably.
Did you notice it? Oh wait, you weren't.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell because I had recordings of it, and I watched like his concert. Like, mine was September 23rd. He started September 6th, so I watched videos, any video anybody took on YouTube, and wanted to see.
That's what I do.
I want to see. Hey, what it like? I want to keep some things a secret. No. I watched afterwards. And I noticed, hey, the way he moved in the one I saw, the performance I saw, is different than how he did in every other show. Even the shows that he put on after that concert.
So he's like, okay, there's something weird
So
here.
something weird must have happened between this song and this song. I was trying to trying to figure out, but I was like, didn't notice he finished his set.
Until later.
But then they said apparently backstage just said encore's a no-go. And then everybody was like, oh, he's just teasing us because, we think, oh, he's going to tease us, whatever.
Did he stop the concert at that moment?
He just finished his set, and he says, I'll see y'all soon. And in all the other concerts, he was like, what happens is after he says that line and the song finishes,
There's another song.
the crowd goes wild, and then it cuts to, because he did this in mid-concert where he left the stage and he had the cameras follow him around the arena, and you could see it on the screen, and he comes out in a random part of the audience, and then he performed a couple songs before he ran back on stage.
What a trooper.
So I don't know if it was like he must have not have broken his foot running, because I saw him get on stage, but
You think he sprained it or something?
no, he actually broke it.
Okay.
So I don't know where, but like, it's this other thing where after This Is America finished, it's him like drinking water, or him just like, people want to know the show is still going on. So he's like doing this, and then he comes out, does his encore. But when he wasn't coming out or whatever, the crowd was like, oh, everybody's saying Gambino. We're doing a wave. Everybody's doing a wave. We got a wave going. We're all waiting until the security guards are telling us, please leave. And everybody was like, what the fuck?
Everyone's so surprised, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's weird.
And then the only regret, I got 2 regrets from that show. Oh, no, 3.
Oh, no.
One regret is I didn't get to see the encore. And I didn't get to record some of the favorite shit. No, 4 regrets. Second one, I had an Android phone at the time. So any video I had,
wasn't
great.
And the audio wasn't doing good.
Yeah, some videos were okay. The other ones were just straight up horrible.
Yeah.
And then the 2 things were 2 pieces of merch that he sold that I didn't get. Like, I liked the shirt I got, but there was another shirt that was red. It looked like the sweater he wore in Freaks and Geeks all those years ago. And it said Gambino. It said Childish in the front. It said Gambino in the back.
Yeah.
It was that one I wanted to get. I should have just put the money down and said, fuck it. I don't care if I'm broke. I want this.
Yeah, that's what my dad said in the concert, because there was a lot of merchants like, fuck it, just we want to remember this experience, whatever. It's like.
And then the one, speaking of remembering experience, they made a shirt different for every show. The date, they put the date on the front, and then they put Gambino or something in the back.
Not a lot of people do that. They usually just put the whole tour in, and
you're
it.
I didn't see that at first.
Yeah.
But then when I figured out that they did that, I was like, fuck, I should have got that one.
You should have gotten it online.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He does, like, there only one shirt from that entire merch. Ooh, shit, phone fell. Only one shirt from that entire set of merch was on his official tour website.
And that's sold.
And sold out quick, never got a re-up. So
buy it off someone else, maybe.
Maybe, but like,
it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. I want mine to come like straight from the table,
fresh
from the bag, freshly pressed. You know what I mean? But, it was an experience. Nevertheless, it gives me an incentive to go see Gambino yet again. But I never got around to it, and the only other time where he came near this area was ACL Fest, Austin City Limits Festival. And
Austin City Limits. I wanted to go to
I
Austin
want to
City
go
Limits.
to an ACL festival once.
Which year was he playing? Well, 2019.
He played, 2019.
I wanted to go to the 2019 Austin City Limits too.
Because they always got
good.
They got a lot of good people there.
Yeah.
Like festivals in general are just amazing. But like festivals, like hopefully
they don't play like the more rare songs.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that the fandom likes. Like
yeah.
It's always a lineup.
I really want festivals to come back because not only does it support an artist, but it's a fun experience for the fan.
Yeah.
So either way, everybody's winning. But now with this COVID shit, man, fucked up everything.
I was gonna go to like 3 or 4 concerts with quarantine, but they got all canceled. I was gonna go. I saw Ghost. Ghost is. Have you heard of Ghost?
Ghost? No.
Nah, it's a pretty badass. It's a satanic band, but
fuck it.
it's like I don't really believe in it, but it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
I've been to other bands, but like I don't remember because I've been to 11 of them.
Yeah.
I just count. It's because me and my dad have the same music taste, so it's like. It's badass that he pays for everything. If I need anyone to go, he's gonna go with me.
Damn. I was finna buy tickets for the weekend, and he was supposed to play back in August, or when I got COVID. Yeah. But they put the tour on, like the tickets are on sale right now for the tour at Dickies Arena here in Fort Worth.
Like I imagine late this year, right? Or
no, in 2022, early next year. Okay. But I haven't bought a ticket yet, and then my buddy, I was supposed to go with him, but he already has a ticket. Okay. So
it's hard to get the same area.
Yeah, I looked in the same area. There's nothing. So if I really want to go, I'll put the money down. But I don't really know. Mostly the events I've been going to in quarantine have been comedy shows.
In person?
Yeah, in person. I go to Hyenas quite a bit, or just comedy shows. Those are the only shows I've gone to because you can easily just socially distance tables and then just wear your mask. Mm-hmm. So that's it. And I've seen smaller comedians, smaller local ones, and Tony Hinchcliffe or Rick Gutierrez. I saw him. I saw Rick Gutierrez before the pandemic hit, which was crazy. And I saw Tony Hinchcliffe during the pandemic, and I actually saw him even before the pandemic as well. So.
Have you gone to any sporting events?
I actually, before the pandemic as well, my brother's birthday, February 10th of last.
That was weeks before the pandemic.
Yeah, I went to a Dallas Mavericks game.
Did they take COVID protocol? Or
no,
was it not a thing yet?
No, it was not a thing yet. But I still have pictures from that night, and the whole crowd was completely full.
And it's weird to see it, right?
It's weird to
how did COVID was already here, and we were that close to each other?
Yeah, there's a video of me recording a goal and everybody screaming. I'm thinking, damn, it's never going to be that loud again, probably.
I thought.
Or maybe.
Maybe, but it'll take a while.
It'll take a while, or damn, we were all up on each other, close.
Do you see videos where there's a lot of people before COVID and it's how did we ever do that?
How did we ever do that?
Yeah,
I see that all the time, and I'm thinking, wow, this fucking
I miss
sucks.
sporting events. I used to go to baseball. The Rangers, obviously, every few times a year. I didn't go since 2018, and they built a new stadium, and I was like, oh, I want to go to the first game of that new stadium. And COVID hit. I was like, oh, okay, they just moved the baseball season, and they didn't even have fans allowed. I was like, that sucks. And then the NASCAR races, they still had them because it's an outdoor area. So I was like, oh, okay, it's chill. No one is close to each other anyway. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I still go to the NASCAR races.
That's fucking nice. I've never been to a race. Yeah. How is it?
I've been to 20+ races because I'm an avid fan. Every time they're here, they used to go 2 times a year. They're gonna go 2 times a year for our last time here. They're gonna move it to 1 next year. But they have the All-Star race, their version of the All-Star.
Damn.
It's a $1 million race. So I'm gonna go there this summer, and then I'm gonna go. They just made a new race in Austin, and I'm gonna go there because it's a new course.
Damn.
It's I'm not scared of it because it's always outside or very separate. And they just opened everything.
Yeah. I've never been to a race. I haven't been to a baseball game since I was 10.
How was that?
It was all right. I liked it. Slow. But then again, that's
the name of the game.
That's the name of the game, man. A lot of people just chill while the game is happening. Never been to a football game.
I've never been to a football game.
Like, unless you count the school games. But, it's not the same
Professional.
as a professional one. Never been to
I've never been to a basketball game. But you went there before.
Never been to a boxing or UFC fight.
I've never been to a boxing or UFC fight, too. Actually, very low, small division.
Yeah.
Things, but not professional.
I've been to WWE events, wrestling events.
I've been to 2 WWE events. I went to Hell in a Cell.
You went to Hell in a Cell? Amazing. Where? Where at? Here?
Yeah, it was in the America. It was like 6 years ago or something.
Oh, I see.
And that was fun. And then I went to a random Brawl event.
Yeah.
That happened here, and that was fun as fuck. I wanted to go to WrestleMania, but I ended up not going.
I wanted to go to WrestleMania too, but I didn't. I just didn't go. My cousin went. And a couple of other cousins from the other side of the family, they actually did a meet and greet with Seth Rollins. So, fuck, right? Seth Rollins, man. Like, I'm a huge WWE fan. Like, I got it, like, in the descriptions of all my podcast shit. Like, AEW, WWE, I'm fully in. Me, I like AEW a little more.
I know the WWE wrestlers because I was a big fan for like 3 or 4 years. I followed them thoroughly. Not as much. I still watch every once in a while. But for the time I did watch it, it was like, oh, I followed it.
Yeah.
Immensely. And I know all the wrestlers. Like, it's not like we're UFC. Like, you tell me, I was like,
I don't know. But
like this one, I was like, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose,
John Moxley.
Yeah. The Usos. Like,
the Usos, yeah.
You can tell me about that, and I don't know. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. You think CM Punk will ever come back?
He had a shitty experience with the company.
Yeah.
Early on, but it's weird that he came back.
It's weird.
I found that's shocking to me.
But he's more of a Fox employee more than WWE employee.
He's not really associated much with the company. He just works for Fox.
Yeah. And I was fortunate enough to see him in person because I went to a Raw event. It was the Go Home. I think, do you know that term? Go Home show? Yeah. I went to the Go Home event before SummerSlam when it was Triple H and Brock Lesnar came back, for the first time. And I got to see Shawn Michaels in Texas. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. I missed the segment where kayfabe got his arm broken and he got messed up at the end of the show. I missed that part because we traveled by train. But I got to see CM Punk's wife, AJ Mendez.
What?
AJ Lee,
really?
AJ Mendez.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like AJ Mendez. I was like, AJ Lee. I know her by her wrestling.
John Cena. I got to see Daniel Bryan. Got to see Paul White, aka formerly known as Big Show. Let's see. I saw a bunch of other names like Ryback, Sin Cara, all them. JTG before, like JTG now, he's more of an indie wrestler now in Texas. He's like the Texas heavyweight champion somewhere in some promotion. But I got to see him when he was still in the company, and I got to see Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. He doesn't come often, but like. What's your opinion on Brock Lesnar?
My opinion on Brock Lesnar is I like him. I like him when they use him, when WWE actually uses him.
Yeah, which is kind of rare.
I don't like it when they have him sit on a title for so long and it just collects dust.
I don't know. I just don't like how there's wrestlers that work so much harder than him that are constantly putting up the effort in Raw or SmackDown, and he just comes in every few months or every.
But that's because he's an attraction.
Yeah, he's the attraction.
He's more of an attraction, and they don't want to fuck that up by putting him on every single week. Yeah. And that's another thing. I guess he doesn't like the travel schedule personally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either if it was that strenuous. Yeah. And like if I was
every week for the whole year, and even with COVID, they did it the whole.
And Brock Lesnar's he's the type of person that doesn't like being around people.
He's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he's like in a rural area. He likes to chill.
He likes to just chill and do his thing. He doesn't want to be fucking bothered.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when I don't have to wait. Yeah. But I love it when I'm able to watch him do whatever. Like when he did before COVID, this is always going to be a thing. You got to say COVID. Before and after. But before COVID, when he did the Royal Rumble and he did it like back in the WWE games where you would beat everybody and just wait for people. He literally did that physically in the middle of a stadium.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, like where everybody's just coming out and he's knocking motherfuckers out, and I'm like, this is fun. Like I don't care if it's just one person.
Did you ever think it was real?
At first I thought it was. Obviously, when you're a kid.
Yeah, when you're a kid, I thought it was like maybe, but like I never 100% thought it was real, but like maybe.
But it's kayfabe.
Yeah, it's kayfabe.
Kayfabe, and I knew the bumps were real. Yeah. The bumps, not cocaine bumps. You drug addicts out there, the falls, the moves, and everything they take. There's a reason they say don't try this at home because people have had life.
But
and
you know, kids do it like they
Yeah.
see it as like, oh, okay, let's do it with my brother or my friend.
Yeah. Like they're that's not a trampoline. That's plywood. Those are actual plywood being
Oh, is
with
that what it
a
is?
small mat. Yeah, it's a bunch of metal frames that make up the ring
The
posts and
falls
everything.
are real. The falls are.
Yeah. The ropes are they're depending on where you're at, they could be tight, they could be not,
Yeah.
depending on them, you have to train to run on them.
Yeah.
Getting on them too, they're
They train for
awfully
that.
slippery, yeah. And they train in being slammed on plywood,
Yeah.
pieces of plywood.
Correctly. You don't want to
Yeah.
be paralyzed
Mhm.
for doing what they do for years and years on end.
And like the only I didn't think it was I didn't think it was fake, but I ended up realizing it's scripted.
Yeah, it's scripted.
It's scripted and it's strenuous because average WWE employee, I say employee because they're technically
Yeah,
contractors.
and they literally call it the company.
Yeah,
Like,
it's an independent. They're independent contractors, meaning they have to show up on their time, on
Yeah.
their will, and for 40-something weeks out of the year, day in and day out.
They rarely take breaks.
Yeah, and then I don't know who I feel bad for, someone putting their body on the line who's already agreed to it, or the person that hasn't wrestled a match in over a year, but the company still has them doing whatever.
Depends who you are. Like, if you're CM Punk, you obviously want to be there all the time and want to
Yeah.
be the main event.
Yeah,
But, like, you're someone that, like, just getting paid to
Yeah.
be here. It's like,
that's what Daniel Bryan said in I have a CM Punk's little documentary, The Best in the World, on DVD, and it came with a bunch of his matches and shit. And he literally said it. And Daniel Bryan, he's a hard worker. Like,
Yeah.
you've seen from his matches, you've seen from his career.
He revolutionized
Yeah.
the company, where it's like, he made the little man.
He made the little man. He proved that the little man can be the biggest in the
Yeah.
company. But he even said that there are guys in the backstage area that just want to show up to TV, and then just get paid. And then when he compared them to CM Punk, he's like, Punk, he wants to come in and he wants to wrestle 30-minute matches, 40-minute matches, an hour match if you give him enough time,
Yeah.
So, shit, like, there
Depends
are people.
who you are.
Depends who
but
you
it's
are.
strenuous as
Yeah.
fuck.
And then, have you watched AEW at all?
No, I straight for when I followed WWE, I strictly followed WWE.
Oh, I see. Well, AEW is on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock our time, TNT, and
Yeah,
they're pretty entertaining. Like, Cody Rhodes has done bits.
Oh, I've heard it. Wasn't he in WWE?
He was Dusty Rhodes' son, second son.
Yeah.
Him and his brother Goldust, aka or
Yeah.
formerly known as Goldust,
He's
Dustin
tall.
Rhodes.
Isn't he the tall one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both in AEW, and a lot of people from all around the world are in AEW. Like,
a lot of retired wrestlers go there.
and they're putting on like bits, like whether it's commentary, whether it's other things. Like Taz, he's a commentator, like his commentary style. JR. Like, you have JR there. Holy shit.
They have JR there?
Yeah. They got, think about this. You have Tony Schiavone and JR. Do you know who Tony Schiavone is?
No.
Tony Schiavone was one of the main announcers back in WCW. The rival
Before they bought the company.
before they bought the company.
Yeah.
So think about that. Tony Schiavone and JR, two of the biggest voices you heard,
Yeah.
whether on the WWE or WCW side during the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah.
On one,
commentary table.
yes. And then
I love that.
Big Show, or formerly known as Big Show, Paul White, has recently debuted in AEW as well. And
Have you seen how in shape he is now?
yes,
Like,
yes.
compared to how he was?
He used to be all like completely big. It seemed like it was.
I think that was just his thing. He was big.
He was a big man. They
And
didn't
then,
care
like,
how
his
in
health,
shape.
His health got in the way, and it's like, okay, I gotta get in shape now. And he had surgeries and things like that.
I remember when he first got into his surgeries and he was doing all these, like, he said he was doing like 1,000 crunch workouts. As big as he
And yet
was,
he's
seen a 6-pack. Like, holy shit!
That's impressive.
That is impressive, and he looks trim now. He looks trim. I want to buy his shirt. His new AEW shirt is "No More BS." Big Show.
No more.
Paul White on the bottom, and I'm like, damn. And then Sting, he debuted as well, and
It's because they can't be using the wrestling names there because WWE has a
yeah,
grip on all of them, and they're very strict with that.
yeah, unless you own your name, like
Yeah.
Sting or like anybody else who Cody Rhodes was simply known as Cody.
The Rock
owns
owns his name. He bought his name.
Who?
The Rock.
The Rock, yeah, he had to buy his name.
Yeah.
Because-
John Cena technically isn't even John Cena. Like.
Yeah, well, that's his actual name.
Yeah, that's his actual name, but he still can't use it for like wrestling. Like he can't be using that for his advantage.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think.
He'd have to go back to what was his? I forget his name. Like the term. It was something like the prototype. The
Yeah.
prototype. Like I don't know. Like that was his early wrestling stick. Like he had a early documentary when he first debuted, and he said that he was when he first started. When he tried his hand at pro wrestling, he was a prototype. He had blonde hair, big muscly, like roided up. He looked like roided up a little bit, but he had like.
I wouldn't doubt if he
Yeah.
was.
He says it's all natural because he worked out since the age of 12. But
Okay, then I can.
and then he did football. John Cena did football in high school and in prep school, I believe. And then I think he was trying to do college. I'm not too sure. I have to brush up on it, but I do know he moved out to California at some point in time, and his passion was bodybuilding. And
Oh,
then,
yeah, yeah, I
and then he
remember
did bodybuilding, but then bodybuilding turned into pro wrestling. Pro wrestling turned into him getting a stint with the WWE, and then 15 some years later,
He's still there.
everybody knows him, and his name is John Cena.
And he's still a household. Well, everyone who doesn't, even in other countries, he's well known.
He's a household name. There's tons of shirts, hats, merchandise.
He could retire right now with his merch. He could just live off that for the rest of his life.
They made 2 belts in the company that were specifically his, like the world title, the
Yeah.
U.S. title. They were both spinner ones.
Wasn't that like in the mid 2000s?
Yeah.
With the U.S. with the Rusev thing.
Like with who?
The Rusev. You know who Rusev is?
Rusev. He's oh man,
Because I remember he had to defend the title or like win the title from again.
He won the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 31.
Was it during that time?
No. That time he was. Oh man, I forgot his name. Miro. He goes by Miro now in AEW. Rusev's in AEW now as Miro. And no. That point in time, John Cena he was defending the title like each and every week on Raw, and I thought that was good ratings. But he's like, open challenge, fuck it, let's do it. But,
oh yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah, but when he made the spinner belt was when he first won it back at WrestleMania 20 back in 2004. And after a little bit of time, they made a like U.S. spinner belt, and it said John Cena on it. It looked like the tag belts right now. That's what it looked like. It was all like, if I can like give everybody, let me look this up right quick. Oh no. Yeah, I'll show you this right now. You've never seen this belt before?
I probably have, but I don't remember it.
But you obviously know the spinner belt, right? The one, yeah. So this is what the U.S. spinner belt looked like. Hold on, let me go to reaction scene. Hold on. Reaction scene. Here we are. You can still see us. They even changed the new U.S. Championship right now. Like, boom, there it is.
No, I've never seen it.
And it says Word Life on it. It's got this entire little thing right here. The entire thing spun. Like the whole little circle spun. Crazy.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's weird. I thought it was weird a little bit. I mean, but then again, it's John Cena's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They even made a recently or maybe a year ago. They re-released the spinner belt, but it was John Cena colors. Like the back was orange. It was a camo belt.
Like it?
I don't know. If people put money into it, they put money into it. Me personally, I think you're going a little far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Orange and camo.
Like the U.S. thing.
No. He re-released the world title.
Oh, the world title. I could see it. It cannot be that bad.
It was all right. And I think so. You thought the mask lift was unnecessary?
Too soon. Way too soon.
Too soon?
Or like at almost 20% COVID vaccine rate for the first dose, just for the first dose. Should have been done like at 60%, 50, 60, 70%, or at least when it's available to young people now. Like with the flu shot, you can get the flu shot anywhere, anytime you want. If we got to that point, we could have. That was the correct time to lift the mask mandate.
And I think that's it on all of our notes. We learned who you were. We learned how you got through high school in a crunch period, which was fucking crazy. You never had COVID.
Never got that's fortunately.
Fortunately, but in a specific set of circumstances, you were able to get the vaccine.
Power on.
Crazy, right? Then you talked on your life after high school being different, and you're currently not studying at all?
No, I'm trying to move on to North Carolina. I'm trying to move to North Carolina by early next year.
Oh, so is that your plans for 2021? Like trying to,
Yeah, just trying to work, move, get some money, save up to move to North Carolina.
and what's in North Carolina?
Racing industry. And I want
Ooh.
to get into that somehow.
Somehow, in some way, shape, or form, you
Yeah.
want to would you want to be a race car driver?
Yeah.
What?
But it's hard. I highly
Yeah.
doubt. But let's see what. A lot of hard work. A lot of people start like when they're 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
It's hard to do when you want to be 18.
But
Let's see what happens.
it's a new endeavor. It's a new
Yeah.
endeavor, and that's fucking amazing. Big fight fan. We talked a lot about UFC. UFC 259 this Saturday. Israel Adesanya. I'm ready for him. We talked about our winter storm. How you were able to have power and I didn't. Spider-Man.
At least you had water.
Yeah, contaminated water.
Water nonetheless.
WandaVision. I don't know. Spider-Man 3. We don't know. We don't know how it's gonna happen. People have been making movies and shows during this pandemic, and so far I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
So we got to see what happens. Concerts and events. Greg Abbott.
A controversial figure.
Controversial figure. Oh well. I already know your opinion on that, and you know the fact that you've gotten the second dosage. It's a little over for you, but
It's a little like I'm more free about it, more loose about it now. But like, I would try to protect other people.
for sure. And then I think.
We even made an extra topic with the WWE.
Yeah. WWE. We're pretty good WWE fans.
Yeah.
Like I've been following it for a while. Like even when I was a kid and all this other stuff, man. So I don't know. It's nice to see. You know what I mean? And it's nice to know somebody else has gone to an event as well. Ooh.
Wow, 3 out of 4 customers.
3 out of 4 customers recommend you take Viagra every 5 hours. That's fucked up. No, you'll die. Don't do that. Don't do that at home. They say if it lasts longer than 5 hours, then
Go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital, please. But other than that, guys, we are brought to you by 3Ds. Location, hours, and number are right there. Follow them on Instagram at 3DZ_ barbershop. 3Ds. Hit him up. He will get you right. Our guest is right there. Follow him or not. He may decline you and send you away to the garbage.
If you're from Northside, I'll follow you.
That's what's up. Follow us at Instagram. See what we're doing. See what we're about. Next podcast. We don't know when it will be, but there will definitely be clips of this podcast coming to you very soon. I'm running out of clips because I haven't did a podcast in over a month. So we got to get that back up. New guests, new clips, new everything, and a big announcement soon. I'm not going to say what it is. I'll probably tell my guest right now what it is after, but y'all won't know until later. This was rated restricted. Not really. It was pretty good. Thumbnail right here. A new face for me and you. Big Rich Town. 50 Cent. The Power theme. Later, y'all.
They say this is a big rich town.
I just come from
Poets